The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago, for we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Raven. We are coming at you live from the Standard Coffee Shop in Lady Lake, Florida. We have a bunch of fun stuff to talk about today, just mainly the weekend. You know, it's a sleepy Monday morning. I figure we'll knock the dust off, see how everybody's doing, and maybe we'll get into a little bit of what the Jews think about Satan, which is something that I have queued up. So if we get to it, we get to it. And then, of course, we'll do our call-in segment in the latter half of the show. Before we get into any of that stuff, though, a little bit of business up front. Guys, if you're looking for a way to support the show, patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad is a great way to support what we're doing here. Some of you might be watching this, and you see that a predominant amount of the chats that are on the screen are these kind of, you know, there's a little duck on it. Those are the StreamYard chats, and those StreamYard people are coming through our Patreon. That's the members section. So those are the people who get to continue chatting when an episode, for example, goes behind the paywall at the half-an-hour mark for editing purposes, things of that nature. There's all kinds of perks there, including discount codes off of merchandise from TopLobsta.com. Let's show that off a little bit because Top gave it a facelift recently. Let's share this tab. So you see we have all of our merch here, but you can see Nephilim Death Squad, TopLobsta, and the Standard Coffee Shop. So not only do we have our stuff here, and we've got a bunch of it. I think it actually stretches back into some of the older designs. I don't know if that's true. Maybe not. Maybe he moved that around. Oh, Operation Paperclip. Check that out. That's one that we don't show off very often. I actually really like that shirt. But if you go here to the Standard Coffee Shop and you click on that, we have the designs from Matt's episodes, right? So Straight Bible, we have Daniel 2, which is Daniel's Dream. We have Elijah, the Tishbite shirt. And then, of course, you have all these products that we actually sell here in the shop. Milk and Honey is the coffee that we offer. Coconut Water, Little Palm is actually super good. Not going to lie, I've never had Ella's popcorn, but it's covered in chocolate, so what are you going to do about that? And then Weld, which is actually, I believe, Matt's cousin's company, which is protein and energy. So if you're some, young so-and-so in the gym and you need an extra boost, there you go, you got it. So a lot of cool stuff here if you go to the drop-down that is for the Standard Coffee Shop. I just think that is super dope. And then there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about as well, and that is, let's get rid of this. Let's go full screen here. So Bro Grove, I think some of you may have heard it on the last episode that I did, which I guess would have been Wednesday night on the Raven. Or actually, I might have talked about it. Actually, I think I talked about it when I did that show with my son. Patreon members were treated to a little bit of behind the scenes, I guess, family footage. My son has been asking for some time to be on the show. And so I had him on. Would have been Saturday afternoon. And we'll talk about that a little bit because I think it was it was a sort of a proud dad moment for me. But on that show, we talked about how the Joke Joint, which is our venue for Bohemian Grove. I'm sorry, let me get my gun out of here real quick. So Bro Grove's venue is typically the Joke Joint because they're the only people that'll have us without canceling us. Well, long story short, the Joke Joint is no more. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're still tentatively aiming for the first Friday and Saturday of March, but we got to figure out a new venue. We've already burned the bridge over at Leesburg, which would have been a great fallback, but that's not going to happen anymore, and they don't deserve our patronage either. So, but we are without a venue. And I think there's a lot of solutions here. But I'm wondering, Top and I had this long discussion about it, and I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. It's like, what is Bro Grove? A lot of you guys have been following the way that we've been changing. I think God's been working on us, and our hearts have changed in a big way. And last year was a lot of fun, and it was pretty legendary. But I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do a soft race war, which is really kind of what it turned out to be. Blaptown Honey says, how many people do we expect? I would say somewhere in the neighborhood, just north of 200. I don't think we want to do more than that. I think that gets really crazy. You start getting more people than that. But yeah, so it begs the question. It's like, what is it? And I agree. Hicks says community, which is very fascinating because we're going to get into the church service that I was at this Sunday, and community was a huge part of it. And so, yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting that came up. It's interesting that you said that, of all people too, Hicks. But that's what I want it to be. And then I kind of want it to be like, well, what are we doing? What do we do? What do you guys enjoy that we do? Well, I mean, we do Nephilim Death Squad. We do Neph to America. We do Chronicles. We do Straight Bible. We do The Raven. We do these Bible studies. And so there's comedy, there's interviews, there's paranormal testimony, there's cultural. So I'm like, maybe we do that. So then the question becomes like, how many people do we need? We talked to somebody, Jeremy Livesey. We did an episode with him. And dude, it was crazy. He couldn't get it through his head. He was like, yeah, I know you guys. I saw you at the Owen Benjamin event. The Owen Benjamin event? What Owen Benjamin event? He's like, yeah, over at the Joke Joint. I'm like, dude, that was Bohemian Grove. That was our event. And he looked at us and never really absorbed it. He just kept saying yeah, I was at that Owen and Benjamin event, and I asked the club owner if I could get on stage and do some stand-up. And he wouldn't put me on stage. And we're like, yeah, dude, because it was our event. You had to ask us. And maybe we would have put you on. It's too bad you didn't get to us sooner. We could have probably fit you in. And he just never got what we were saying. So now I'm like, dude, am I making Bohemian Grove other people's events? And, it's become synonymous with people like Owen Benjamin, with Sam Tripoli and things like that. And I'm not mad at that. But I think the question is, at what point do you reach out and grab this thing and go, no, this is our event. This is the Nephilim Death Squad presents Bohemian Grove. So then the next follow-up question is can we headline our own event? I don't know. How's Mark Random? I don't know. I cut off Mark Random. I personally don't think he's a good dude. After what he did to Toad, I was pretty put off by all that. And so I blocked the dude. I didn't talk to him. So, yeah, I think, we want to have all these people. We want to have all the friends of the show. Everybody that you guys have come to love, people that are close, Ed Mabry's, things like that. Stephen of the Biblical Hitmen is definitely going to be there. We want to get a lot of people there. Is Mersh coming? I don't think Mersh will come anymore. I don't know. I don't think there's any bad blood there. I actually told Mersh straight up, yeah, I think you're very funny. And wires just got crossed on the whole. It was like a miscommunication thing. And a lot of how that went. I even posted the DMs of the interaction where everything was said and we were all on the same page and everybody understood each other. But whatever. No, I don't think Mersh is coming. Honestly, though, if that relationship hadn't gone sideways, Mersh is fucking hilarious. I would have loved to have had him. Although it's what are we once again? What are we doing? I don't know. Executing Steve Wilkos on stage? That's a possibility. So last Bro Grove, what I realized is even though we had these heavy hitters like Owen Benjamin, like Sam Tripoli, a bunch of awesome people, Shane Cashman, Elijah Schaefer, doodly doo, go down the list. We had a lot of cool people. The vast majority of people were there for Nephilim Death Squad. And a lot of these other people, this is not shaded anybody. But the two draws, Sam Tripoli bought people, Owen Benjamin bought people. Still, the vast majority of people were there for Nephilim Death Squad. And I was like, that's interesting. So, I don't know. It's something that I've been thinking about, and Top and I were discussing last night. So we don't have a venue. We've got to readjust for that. And we got to ask ourselves, what is Bro Grove? And can we put on...
You don't have a venue?
Can you stop it? What is that? Sweet cream? A bag of sweet cream? I don't know. Not Z-Man says they bought people. Not like bought people like they were a draw. Like those are obvious draws. Owen Benjamin, Sam Tripoli. Obvious draws. But still, vast majority of people were there for us, which is awesome. You know, we've managed to build a community. So is it time to stop leaning on other people in order to get this thing going? And is it time to like start steering our own? Like Sam Tripoli looked at it straight up and he was like, you guys should have been headlining this. And like Top and I were like, the fuck does that mean? Headlining this. Headlining an event? Ugh. Something to think about. Anyway, guys, chew on that. I'd love to get some feedback. If you guys are in the Patreon, it would be great to get some feedback from you. You know, because this is all predicated on whether or not we could even draw. So if I get the feeling that we can draw, then maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to start doing our own thing. You know, feel free, emails, DMs, like whatever. You know, we'd appreciate any input on the matter. Also, keep an eye out. Later on today, we're going to have a Thanksgiving episode. It's going to be a really, like, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Yeah, so Occulta Manu says, it's your event, otherwise it looks like you're presenting other talent. And you know, that's very valid. Very valid. It's just like in the beginning, we did our first Bro Grove event accidentally. We were there for a book signing, a comic book signing with Sam Tripoli, and he asked what we should call the event, and Top goes, David has a good idea. He was talking about it on the way here. And Sam Tripoli goes to me and goes, what's the idea? And I go, oh, I was thinking about an event called Brohemian Grove. Sam Tripoli just picks up the microphone and goes, welcome to the first official Brohemian Grove. He doesn't even know. Well, he knows now. But, like, he really set this thing into motion. That was, like, 6 months into our being a show. Impossible to draw, but we weren't setting out to do that. We were just like, what? We get to sign comics with Sam Tripoli and Paranoid American? Let's go. And then the second one was maybe only a year into the show, and we still weren't at that level where we could be a draw. But we got together a bunch of the homies, and we got Leonardo Joni to headline it, and we still managed to fill out the room, thanks to everybody who helped us. You know, Revenge of the Sis helped us. Like, a lot of people helped us to pull that off. And at that time, we still weren't, like, a draw by any means, so we couldn't have done it on our own. By the third one, which is the last one that we did, which was Owen and Sam and everything, like, maybe there was an argument, but I am very happy with what we did. It put us on the map. It made people aware of this event. Yeah, I would say, like, the building is done. We're done building it. Maybe now we can do some stuff on our own. Can Raven fight Nathan Reynolds at the next? I would, listen to me. Where's that camera? Camera 1, camera 2. I would beat the shit out of that man. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way that Nathan Reynolds would ever defeat me in hand-to-hand combat. I would beat the shit out of him. So at Bro Grove, I'm going to beat the shit out of Nathan Reynolds. Bro Grove 4, beating the shit out of Nathan Reynolds. Saying it here. No, I'm not saying that. I'm going to get sued or something like that. I'm just playing, Nathan. We're just having, don't cut my head off and throw it to the feet of your pastor in Lady of the Lake in fucking Arizona. Anyway, guys, later on we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving episode. It's going to be just a silly one. We're just going to keep it light. We're probably not going to talk about much of anything. But we are going to rank, thanks to, shout out to Disagree to Agree, I believe is the name of the show, with Eamon Rat, who's one of the homies, and Subliminal Messenger, who's one of the homies. They're coming back on maybe in about a month or so. And they inspired me because they ranked Thanksgiving foods. You could actually go and find it on Rumble. If you go to Rumble, go to Disagree to Agree, and they had a tier system, and they ranked Thanksgiving food. And I was like, why is this so compelling? Why do I want to be involved with this? So we're going to do the same thing as an homage to Disagree to Agree. Guys, go to Rumble, subscribe to them, find their content. I think they're on audio as well. Two great guys, awesome researchers. Really, really, really good at doing deep dives on wild concepts. Really good at ranking Thanksgiving foods. So we're going to do it too. So shout out to those guys. We'll do that later on today. It's going to be just a hang, dude. It's just going to be a hang. We're just going to hang out, rank some Thanksgiving foods, just to send us off. And, we do have episodes tomorrow. I think we got 2 back-to-back episodes tomorrow. So, and the last thing that I want to talk about before we get into a little bit of the discussion is really just like, we're just hanging and talking today. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how much content there's going to be. We're going to open the lines in the second half, but we're getting ready to change the way our sponsors work. And that episode with Jack was awesome. He's a good. Thank you, Z-Man. Yeah, we got to talk about that for sure. Oh, yeah, I would love to have Eamon Rat and Subliminal Messenger at Bro Grove, although I think Eamon Rat's been at every Bro Grove. So we're getting ready to change our sponsorship thing. So like if you're a listener of the show, like the audio is bukkakied with all these ads, and then like we tell you, hey, if you don't want any ads, go over to Patreon. So we're going to change it up a little bit, I'm hoping, because I'll do a little inside baseball with you. We use Spreaker, which is iHeartRadio. They automatically populate your RSS feed with ads. All you do is select some things like, are you okay with sexual related content? We go, no, we don't want any of that shit. And we say no to that. And you can check a couple of boxes like that. And it goes, okay, cool, here you go. So we can make more money if we were cool with selling dildos or boner pills, but we don't want to do that. So anywho, it's easy. I don't have to have a relationship with sponsors. I got to build a studio. I got to plan live events. We're only a 2-man team, so we're booking all our own guests. We're setting up all our stuff. Spread really thin. If you're going to give me the convenience of not having to deal with, sponsors, awesome. I'll take that. Now we're entering a place where I think it's time to actually develop relationships with these sponsors instead of like Chumba Casino or whatever the hell it is that you guys hear when you're listening to audio. And so we have this model in mind, and we're going to handle that. But something I thought was cool was like we have all these listeners, all these dangerous retards. You're all part of the community. And this is actually something I'm stealing from Timcast. I know. Gasp. Pause. But what I like is the idea of like, let's highlight the people who support us. So maybe, I don't know, a couple of times a week or something like that, we will shout out small businesses that you guys run. It's like an effort in community building and trying to give back to you guys who support us. And so, if you have something like that, if you have a small business, if you'd like to see it, put up here or whatever, I don't know what we're going to do. It might be cool to just give like shout outs. I think that's the model we're going to go with. I don't want you guys to have to pay. It's a way that we give back. I don't know what the shout out will look like. I don't know if we'll have graphics or anything like that because that's labor intensive. But if you guys have something, we could show your website off, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're a listener out there, a dangerous retard with a small business, whatever your thing is, hit us up, nephilimdsquad@gmail.com, and just say, hey, this is my thing. It would be great if you guys could highlight it. And we'll see. I'm sure we're going to get peppered with a lot of you guys. So I don't know how the hell we're going to get through it all. But we'll do our best. Just a way to give back. Okay, so I guess, Psalm 40 says, Canary Cry, they do this. No ads unless it's original, connected to the community. Yeah, so that's what we're doing now. So in order to make as much content as we do, there was no way that we could have had jobs. So we had to get income coming in some way. And Spreaker had a pretty good system for that. And that helped us. It's like we're not rich by any means, but it's enough that I can live like a really modest life. As long as I don't go crazy and overextend myself, we can get the bills paid, and I could do this full time. But now what I want to do is like work with companies we actually believe in. So there are a lot of, I'm hesitant to give shout outs, but like there are a lot of products. I actually have a bunch of tabs open for companies that I believe in. So we want to try to, it's not a new model by any means, but like if we're going to offer you food products, I want it to not have like seed oils and shit like that. I want it to be, healthy, no red dye 40, support companies like that and get you guys good, healthy products. If we're going to do well, let's see some of the things that we have up here. Like one of them is a nootropics company that I really believe in nootropics. I use them every single episode. Admittedly, I use Alpha Brain, but I'm looking into a different company. I'm not going to say the name of it right now because I want to try their stuff before I start saying their name because it could be crap. But as far as the ingredients go, really good. There's another one. This is actually really cool. I'm actually going to say the name of these people because I just think that this is a great product, but it's called Pluck, and it's a seasoning company. I actually picked these people up from Quite Frankly, but the seasonings, this is super dope, dude. Let me see if I could find like how the ingredients go. Now discover recipes. Now, recipes is how to make stuff. I wish they would give you a breakdown. So it is super. Okay, it's organ meats. Organ meats? Okay, here we go. So it's 100% grass-fed beef organs, organic herbs and spices, and Redmond real salt. And that's it. Those are the 3 ingredients. So you're getting like powdered liver, kidney, spleen, heart, pancreas, all these different things in these packets. And so, like over the past couple of years, we've discovered like how important organ meats are and all the nutrients that you get from that set. Well, they put it in a seasoning. So you just spread this crap over your food and it's like huge nutrition boosts. Massive. We got some samples. We tried them out. I'm like, okay, those people are cool. I want to try those out. There's another, like a lot of organ meat stuff. And then of course like Van Man and things like that. So I won't bore you with all this crap for much longer, but I'm just saying like we're trying to revamp and get products that like we really believe in, that we've really tested, that we really use, that like we want to offer you guys and we want to support, these companies. And then, yeah, we'll give you guys a shout out. Sam says, NDS is truly the best pod ever. Thank you. That's much, but thank you. We're able to witness genuine sanctification. Most show hosts go through evolution, but the evolution of Top and Raven is the most encouraging thing I've ever seen. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much. Oh, Jin, you're saying stuff. I mean, I think it would be a great collaboration. And the other thing is we're here in the shop. We have a place to put this stuff like on the shelf. So like when you guys come in to hang out, come into the Standard Coffee Shop here in Lady Lake, Florida, and you come to hang out with us, you'll be able to pick these products up. So you have coffee, hang out, you can come into the studio, all this cool stuff, but also all on the shelves is going to be like these products that, I'm running them by Matt. If Matt believes in it and I believe in it, and he's very excited about a lot of these things, then like, yeah, we're going to get him in here. So it's going to become something a little bit, I don't know, more than, it's already become more than a coffee shop, but you know what I mean? So, all right, let's, I guess we'll talk a little bit. The Patreon members, did you guys see, would Matt sell my Glock parts in his coffee shop? I think there's got to be a licensing issue for that. I don't know how that works, dude. Conspiracy Cutie says, oh my God, I'm moving to Florida. Screw this snow. If you come over here, man, we're building something very cool. We're building something very cool, very special. And the doors are wide open. You guys can come and be a part of it. Will you shout out my pyramid scheme twice, 3 times maybe? You know what's really upsetting? I would love it, Scott, if you called him and scolded him. He doesn't want my hot dogs and my Zip Zap waters to be in his refrigerator. So if you could call Scott and say, how dare you, I put these things in the shop for Raven. For those of you that don't know, we received a lovely shipment from Scott. He sent Zip Zap waters, La Croix, which a lot of you know I'm a big fan of sparkling water. And he also sent 3 packs of non-GMO organic all beef hot dogs, which is incredible. And now I have them in the refrigerator, and Matt's going, you're taking up too much space. You got to get rid of them. So I think I got to get a mini fridge in here. But in the meantime, if you can call him and scold him, that would be excellent. Also, guys, thank you to everybody who has been, and there has been a lot of them. I'm thinking maybe the second half of the show we'll get into this, and we're going to read the 5-star reviews that you guys have been submitting for the Standard Coffee Shop on Google. There's so many. There's so many, and that's so awesome. You guys are the best. Everybody's been writing NDS after their, and some of you didn't write NDS at the end of your thing, but I recognize your names, so I still know. I could tell who's a NDS fan too, by the way. And a shit ton. There's so many 5-star ratings that have come in, and you guys are the best. So thank you guys so much. Excuse me. So a lot of you guys might have seen, that's okay, Conspiracy. I know, I saw it. I know who you are, and I saw it. So a lot of you guys on Patreon saw I did a show with my son. So Top does shows with his kids occasionally, and I think it's a great move because, of course, the kids want to be on the show, but his situation's a little bit different than mine in that his kids are younger than mine, and they're homeschooled. My kid goes to a public school. So putting my kid on YouTube, I guess I am a little bit worried about people, finding him or whatever. I mean, it wasn't long ago that we got doxxed, and then somebody called CPS. Anybody remember that debacle? That was really stressful. And I had to have CPS walk through my house and show them, like, no, my kid's not in danger. I just pissed off a bunch of people on Twitter that doxed me, figured out where my kid goes to school, and then called, the cops and made a whole thing of it, dude. So, like, it's different for me. And, he's 10, so he wants to, like, he's going to want to go and tell his friends, like, I was on YouTube. Go and find me. By the way, guys, CPS did like a walkthrough, and they were like, "Oh, this is." They figured out what it was. They never came back, and you have like a 60-day waiting period where the case is still open. So at any moment they could just show up within that 60 days. They never came back. So really, it was just a light touch, but it was enough to be like, dude. So. All that to say, like, I'm hesitant because if he gets on YouTube, he's going to want to tell his friends. If he tells his friends, then who knows? I don't know. So I did Patreon only because I trust you guys more. And, dude, he was so happy. He was so happy. And he was good. I think he did a good job. I mean, I had my 10-year-old on a podcast, and I had him locked in for an hour, which, like, look, man, getting a kid to lock in for an hour is no simple task. But he was into it. And it was like asking him certain conspiracy questions and then listening to the way listening to the answers that he was giving me. I was like, damn, dude. Do I say this shit at home? Like, am I saying this at home? What's happening? Is that, what is it?
It's from Joe Brown.
Joe Brown? Oh, Cho Brown. Thank you, Cho. Thank you very much. Is there sugar in this? No. He's a liar, dude. I'm still fasting.
No problem. He's a good dude.
Cho Brown's the best dude. Thank you guys so much. You guys can call in the standard coffee shop. There's a lot of sugar in this. You sons of bitches. This is delicious, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what this is. That's nice. Thank you, Cho. How many TLCs has Jack heard over the year or so? That's a great question, Jin. Well, in the past when I've done Timeline Cleanse, it's like in my apartment. And a lot of like before I moved to the apartment I live in now, I lived in a shithole. Really thin sheetrock in the ghetto. It was a converted motel to an apartment complex, and it was super small. So everything that I was yelling could be heard through the walls. So yeah, dude, he heard a lot of that shit. He heard a lot of that. And it's risky business. A lot of people clung on to us early because we're historically unafraid to say, I don't know, you name it, whatever it is. If it's got to do with race, if it's got to do with sexuality, if it's got to do with whatever. All the no-no things we're willing to hit. I'm doing that in my bedroom. Through the thin sheetrock walls, my son is hearing all this. So it's hard. I have to get off a show, and then I have to unpack these things and explain to him, like, where the line between comedy is and why it's funny. It's funny because it's true, but how true is it? And does it mean that you condemn an entire people? Which the answer is no, you don't do that. Like, I saw a post on Twitter. It's going viral. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's like a dude who's celebrating his son's 13th birthday. And it's like a white dude, and he's hanging out with his son, and it's an adopted son, and he's a black kid. And like, dude, everybody's just shitting on him. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where do we lose the plot? This is a man who plucked a kid out of hell and raised him. And we're going south on him because he's black. And people are like, oh, what about your lineage? Your genetic lineage? I'm like, this dude, what about the widows and orphans? This dude saved a kid from hell. You know how bad the foster care system is? You have any idea what that's really like? Do you know how many kids make it through there and are traumatized for the rest of their lives? You know how many kids don't make it through there? They run away, they become homeless, they die, they disappear. Plucked from hell. And people are giving this guy a problem? Like, we lost the plot. And I simply said, you know, I tweeted it, I said, this is cool. Anytime somebody puts good into the world, this is cool. So, you know, you have to have conversations where you try to explain, like, yeah, dude, I'm saying a thing because it's funny, and it's funny because it's true, but how true is it, and what do you do with that truth? Do you condemn everybody? I don't, you know, it's a wild thing. So yeah, man, he's heard a lot of shit, but he had a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun here in the studio, sitting in the chair with the headphones on and the microphone. He had some good answers. He had some thoughtful. He was funny. I don't know where he gets it from. He was funny. He was charming. He was cool. Who knows where he got that from? But, you know, we had a little conversation about, like, you gonna take this over, dude? You gonna take this over? When you get older? And your old man is, I don't know who the hell knows what I'll be doing at 60, 70. I mean, I'm sure I could still be podcasting, but he does a lot of like, oh, what, you know, I want to be this, I want to be that. And I go like, yeah, that's cool, man. Whatever you want to do, like, you know, I want you to pursue that. But he hasn't realized yet that his old man is building something that like people just don't do. And he hasn't realized the significance of it yet. He thinks it's about like fame or something like that. I'm like, dude, it's not about fame. Like, you don't want fame. You don't want that. Like, I like you guys in the chat, you know, and I love meeting people, and I'm nowhere near famous, but like, that's not the point of this. The point of this isn't fame. The point of this is telling the truth. Because, well, for me at least, it's because it wouldn't shut the hell up. Years and years and years and years of doing whatever job, building the infrastructure. Shout out to Z-Man. And all the while, there's this thing that's like, no, dude, you got to do something else. There's something else you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be talking. I just knew that. So that's, you know, that's in huge part why I do this, but I don't know. I mean, you don't want to force something on him, right? It's like, how many stories do you hear where like dad builds something and then he forces the kid to work at it and then the kid doesn't like it and then it falls apart? Like, I'm not trying to do that. But like, I hope he realizes it one day, like, oh shit, God let dad make something magic. And now I have access to that. And like, that's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool. Dude, okay, so I went to church I went to the 501c3 system Sunday. You know, so we did the show with Jack. He had a good time. Not gonna lie, he's a big fan of Z-Man. Z-Man says, did you set off firecrackers in the bathroom yet to chase off the demon? No, I've not. I've not done it yet, but we do got to do something like that. Redbeard says you're bringing people to Christ. I hope, dude. I hope. That's the biggest reward. You need to have Apfel on. Not familiar with Apfel. Divirony. Not familiar with him. But yeah, he's got a real affinity for Z-Man now. My son. So we go after that, the next day rolls around, we go to our church. And yeah, that's it, man. Hicks says rule number 1, only tell the truth best you can. That's it. I always say, I don't have a stranglehold on the truth. I'm just trying to tell the truth as I see it. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. And I've been wrong a lot. All good. All good. There's nothing wrong with being wrong as long as you admit it and then you just adjust. Who gives a shit? But that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to tell the truth. And I think I'm pretty good at it. Not like I mean I have all the information. I'm just good at telling the truth about me, about the things I see, whatever. I've done a pretty good job at that. Guess the Rumble chat is dead. Not Nice Guy says, yeah, dude. Everybody that was on Rumble is now on Patreon. Z-Man is awesome. So anywho, we go to the church and so we show up early. We get our seats. We get comfy, cozy. It's another one of those days where the sermon feels like it's talking to you. But in this particular instance, it was talking to my wife. And after it was over, my wife was I was like, what'd you think of the sermon? She was felt like it was talking to me. I was like, yep, I caught that. And it was about community and it was about oneness in the body of Christ. And it was about loving on each other, which you guys know. I'm I don't want to love on anybody. I don't want to don't fucking touch me. But there's been a real absence of community, especially for my wife. So it was interesting in that way. It was pointed at her. But dude, so I'm new to the church. I haven't been exposed to all the music and stuff. So I'm hearing it with fresh ears for the first time. I have no idea when I hear a song, if it's an old song, if it's a new song. I just hear the song. And a lot of them, not gonna lie, they're kind of bangers. And my wife is actually at the church right now helping set up their Christmas decorations. Their homage to Nimrod or what have you, with my son. Xerox says, Raven, I loved when you asked what he knew about 9/11 and he said it was an inside job. Dude, just like that. Boom. You say things around your kids, and if you're a parent, you get this, right? You say things around your kid, you have no idea what they remember and what they don't remember. Because if you tell them to clean their room, or you tell them that they have to do this thing before they're allowed to enjoy something like going outside or whatever, they'll forget that. But if you mumble, well, 9/11 was an inside job 3 years ago, he just remembers that forever. So are they paying her for that? No, they're not paying her for that. Yes, making fun of each other is our love language. 100%. 100%. So, on the topic of songs, right? All of a sudden, they do some songs. It's okay. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit the floor is vaulted, and I'm just tired of standing. Look, I've been going to church forever. I'm just tired of standing and listening to the music. Can we sit down and listen to the music? Whatever. So they do the band. They do a couple songs. Don't remember the songs. Feeling a little bit out of it that day. All of a sudden, this little girl, walks out onto the stage. Real little. Little toothpick of a kid. And I'm like, oh, no. This is so, this is going to be so nerve-wracking. Something you guys probably don't know about me is, I'm not scared of anything except for one thing, and that's karaoke. Not going to do it. I will not do it. I will not sing on a stage. And I got a cousin, my cousin Gabe, and he crushes, dude. Some of you guys might have met him at the last Bohemian Grove. He was the security guy. That dude crushes. King karaoke. He goes out and does his thing. Top does karaoke. His wife does karaoke. I don't do karaoke. It's not happening. Refuse. But I'll get on stage and I'll do other things, whatever. So, I have this kind of empathy thing. I see this little girl. She goes on stage. I go, oh, my God, this has got to be so frightening for this little girl. And surely it is, right? So she's there to sing. She starts singing. And, dude, she sings like, and I mean this in the best way possible, she sings like a ghost. Like her little voice. Beautiful voice. But it's like so airy, but not in a bad way, because you know how some people will sing and it's like it's really airy and it's like it kind of like sounds like, no. This is the fucking ghost of Christmas Past singing on stage. And she's singing Mary, Did You Know? Now, I've never heard that song before, and maybe a lot of you haven't heard that song. But it's all about asking Mary if she knew that her baby boy was the Lord of all creation. And that's the whole premise of the song. Like, did you know when you were kissing this little boy that you were kissing the face of God? And I get chills even thinking about that, because conceptually it's like, fuck, dude. So heavy. And this little girl is singing this. And I'm getting it right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. I started getting, I was like, my eyes started getting wet. Wet. And I'm like looking around. You know, because for everybody else, I guess this is a song they've all heard. But I don't know. So I'm like, guys, what's happening? Like, is this happening right now? Like, I'm looking around for other eyes that are getting wet. My wife looks at me and she's just like, are you crying? And I was like, no, dude, no. This little girl crushes, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, dude, that song is so crazy. I got in the car later on and I listened to you crying, nigga. Yo, I was kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. So fucked up that I'm in church and I don't even think about it because I'm just waiting for it to end. No, I wasn't ugly crying, Z-Man. I was just regular, like, you know, my eyes were wet and then maybe one escaped. Maybe, but I don't even think one escaped. I think I had like maybe in the, you know, it gets kind of bunched up in the corner and you kind of do that. And I was so taken out. I had to say something. And I was like, real wrapped up, like, and then when it was done, I turned to my wife and I go, because I can't even think of what to say. I just go, holy shit. And she goes, hey, we're in church. Like, what are you talking? And I was like, damn, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just had to say something. And, dude, it was incredible. So I went later on, you know, we're taking a drive out to this thing with the kids. And I'm like, we got to find that song. Let's find that song. I don't know if they're going to sing it as good as this little girl. Because like I said, the little girl it sounded like a ghost singing Mary, Did You Know? And so we did find it. And it was sang by Carrie Underwood. But I didn't know. I didn't know Carrie Underwood was doing that kind of a thing. And then after that song, by the way, came on another cover by Carrie Underwood called. She covered Silent Night, which, like, interestingly enough, Mary, Did You Know was giving me like almost Christmas vibes. Almost Christmas vibes. It was called Mary, Did You Know? Check it out. Check it out, because I was like when there's like a lyric that says like, did you know that when you kissed your baby boy that you kissed the face of God? And I was like, and I didn't do that. I had to make the noise. I didn't do the ugly cry face, but like that fucking. No, I know I know that Silent Night is a Christmas song. I'm just saying it's interesting because Mary, Did You Know almost had this baby Jesus Christmas song vibe to it, only in the smallest amount. Something really small, just a glimmer of it. And then the next song that comes on is Carrie Underwood covering Silent Night, which is a baby Jesus Christmas song. And I was like, oh, shit, that's interesting. I think the song about the birth of Christ might be... Yeah, I guess you're right, Nick. Whatever. So, yeah, dude, I didn't grow up in the church. I didn't have any of that. I didn't know that. Dude, Like, dude, it might be my favorite song now. Mary, Did You Know? Might be my favorite song. Did you know your baby boy is the Lord of all creation? And I'm like, it's, dude, in concept, it's so powerful. You know, because I'm listening to it and I'm like thinking like, damn, dude, imagine Mary. Like, you know, because you hear these stories but it's like to try to really humanize everybody that went through it. Like, that was a great way to humanize Mary so that she was no longer like a concept, but like a living person who birthed the Lord of all creation. What? That's heavy, dude. Mary, did you know dethroned many men as Raven's many men is my that's my son's favorite song. He actually said that on the show. And I thought that was funny. It's a banger of a song. So, you know, I listened to Mary, Did You Know, on the way to, we went to like a farm with the kids. We were going to meet Top and his wife there and his kids, and we went in my shitmobile, which, by the way, like, I got to buy a new car, and I'm waiting to get paid from this podcasting that I do, which comes at the end of the month, and I'm hoping that it's enough where I can, like, kind of put a down payment on something, and I'm only going an hour away, and my car is going to explode. Like, it's just done, and I'm not putting any money into it. Like, I'm not going to put money into it if I'm going to put a down payment on another car. And I'm looking at, like, I know they're not the greatest, but I'm looking at, like, a Grand Cherokee, like a Trailhawk. My wife likes the Renegade. I'm, like, looking at a lot of Jeeps. My wife likes the Renegade. My wife, Renegades are a little bit gay, mostly because they're small, but I'm small. So, like, maybe I drive a small gay car. But they also have, you know, they have a Trailhawk for Renegades and for pretty much, I think all their models are offered in Trailhawk, which really is just, like, you have tow hooks in the front to get pulled out of the muck if you go in the muck. I just like it. It looks a little bit cooler. But get a Tacoma or a 4Runner. I don't have Tacoma or 4Runner money. Optimistic Bear says Jeeps are for women. Yeah, dude. Wranglers specifically are for women. But I like a Cherokee. Is it the Grand Cherokee or the Cherokee? I think it's just the Cherokee with the really thin, the narrow headlights. It just looks like I like it. In the Trailhawk, if I get it with white, with the accent color on the hood, black, and then the red tow hooks on the front, like, pretty cool. But either way, I'm not going to dump money into this thing, right, if I'm going to do that. But, like, it's going to blow up. So on this 1 hour ride there, it was like a nightmare. For Thanksgiving, I got to drive 4 hours to Boca. And, like, the way it's working out, like, I might get paid. I might end up, like, freaking out and trying to buy a car the morning I drive to Boca. Or, like, the day before I drive to Boca. So I'll be in a dealership for 5 hours, and then the next day I'll wake up and I'll drive to Boca, which is 4 hours, and then 4 hours back. Because this thing is not going to make it. If that money doesn't hit, this is, like, a weird... If it doesn't hit, like, I'm going to drive this bomb 4 hours each way. Which is really, Scott says, I swear to God, if you buy a piece of shit, I'll kill you. Honestly, dude, I was thinking about just doing, because for a while I was like Carvana. But, like, obviously Carvana, you can't test drive stuff. But if you get it inspected immediately as soon as you get it, and then, like, you have a 7-day period where you can go to Carvana and be like, look at this laundry list of shit. You got to fix this. And then they'll fix it. But, like, yeah, that's the big thing is, like, but, like, Carvana's kind of cool because I don't have to sit in a dealership dealing with these pieces of shit, which is what I think car salesmen are. And I could just go doodly doodly doo, and then it gets dropped off at my house. Carvana's a scam? Damn it, dude. My dad has a Cybertruck. It has skinny headlights. I spot it from a mile away. Your dad has a Cybertruck? That's crazy. George says, the Raven, my favorite voice. I'm sorry, dude. If I'm your favorite, I got a rough voice. Get a Turo for a few days. Oh, yeah. That's an option, right? Maybe. But it's like I look at any money that I could be spending on like a rental because we were going to do a rental. So whether it's from Toro or anything else, but then I'm like, I could put that money, towards the car. I don't know. It's just weird timing because I have to make this drive and I have to get a car by the end of this month so I could fix the car that I have, which is a waste of money, rent a car, which is a waste of money, or buy buy a car, which I have to do. But the timing of it isn't really in my favor right now. So it might be drive a bomb to Boca that explodes upon arrival and then be like, shit. So we drive the bomb to this thing. And this is, so the show is called Ernesto, Nooo. So I have a little story. We'll get into the story, and then we'll get into the juice, and then we'll go for a break for a little bit. Dave Ramsey says it's always cheaper to fix. Well, so I've already been quoted, and I talked to Scott about this actually. So my model of Hyundai is apparently notorious for having a steering column coupler break. So what happens is when this coupler breaks, there's a tremendous amount of play in the steering column, and it vibrates like a motherfucker. And when it vibrates, that vibration, when you're coming to a stop, it rattles the entire car every single time you stop, and it sends everything else into a spiral, and everything else is getting loosened, everything else is getting screwed up. Plus, my fuel pump needs to go. So those two things right there, the part for the coupler is like $30. The labor is like $1,000 because you have to undo the whole steering column. And then to do the fuel pump, that's a lot of money too. So we're talking another, 1,000 or so there. So it's like, is it cheaper to spend $2,000 plus on this thing that is falling apart anyway? Or does it make more sense to put $3,000 to $4,000 down as a down payment on something and just not have to deal with that shit? Shouldn't it have been fixed in a recall? Probably. I don't know. Who knows? You can find a nice Tacoma under 20K. Yeah, but I can't. I don't want to do. I'm so frugal, dude. I don't want to do that. 20K is too much. 20K is too much. Have you gone to the Hyundai dealership to check if they'll fix the steering column? I think we went one time and it was like there was something that was recalled and it was fixed, but I don't think the steering column was under the recall. And we were out of warranty. So it just is what it is. So we go to this place. It's a farm that has like a gift shop in it, and there's a lot of animals that you can pet. And we're bringing the kids there on Sunday for a good time. So we go to church and then we go do this. I don't know if you guys can hear the cheering that's happening out there. So we show up to this place. Very cool. Like as soon as you walk in, there's an enclosure and there's hogs, there's pigs. And I don't think I've ever seen pigs this big. I mean, these pigs were like easily ridden into battle. Like that's how big they were. It was so big that it felt like in the northeast of America, I used to live in New Jersey. I was kind of on the border by New York too. And so I was like a little bit in the country. There's a lot of black bear out there. And this thing would kill. Yo, Emily, how did you fucking know that, dog? So that's kind of crazy. I think that is kind of what just happened. So these hogs, like I look at black bear that were local, that were knocking over my trash cans, and I'd be going to work in the morning and being like, motherfucker, we left the trash can out. Damn it, we forgot to, and now I got to pick up all the, and like those bears would not be able to take this pig out. This pig was a unit. A unit, dude. So we see the pigs, very cool. They have sulcata tortoises. The sulcata tortoises are like huge, dude. Like you could put a child on its back and it would cruise around. So cool. Love a tortoise. Big fan of a tortuga. Not to be confused with a torta. So, yeah. Hogs, well, so I know that hogs are, they're a whole invasive species, and, basically it's like kill on sight with them, and they are very aggressive. But this was like This was a pig. It was still a domesticated pig. I know if you release any domesticated pig into the wild, allegedly they will eventually transform into a hog. Domesticated pig, it was like a 3-seater. Like you could have rode three people on this thing. So, Salcata tortoise is very cool. Donkeys, like the donkeys, pet them up. Good donkey. Capybaras were there. We could have, but we didn't. But you could have paid $15 for a meet and greet with a capybara, which is a hilarious way to describe petting a capybara, is a meet and greet. 700-pound pig, had to be more than that, I think. 3-seater McLaren? It was the 3-seater McLaren of pigs was there. So the capybara is very cool. Love a big capybara. And I might be able to ride a capybara. I'm not a very big guy. Well, I was surprised though, because I knew that a capybara was, it's the world's biggest rodent. But when you hear that, you're like, how big does a rodent get? And yeah, they get pretty big, dude. Pretty big. So I think it stood probably that tall. What is that? 2.5, 3 feet off the ground, probably, yeah. And big ass heads. What's really fascinating is their feet. Their feet are like so thick. They just got three toes, 3 big toes, and thick ass ankles. It almost looks like what you would see an ostrich rolling around with, except an ostrich is much more like reptilian. But it was size of a Rottweiler. No, I don't think it was that big. It was that big, but they were big, very big. So we take the kids around, they pet the things, and in other places that I've been, especially in New Jersey, it's like, no, you can't touch them because they bite. Florida's like, they bite, touch them. And there's like a little warning sign. It's like, yo, it might bite, but like, yeah, definitely, dude, touch them. They sell like buckets of feed. You can get the kids buckets of feed. Okay, so we're going through the whole thing. It's really cool. There's like a gem section where you could pour sand into a sifter and you can get gems out of it if you buy a sack of gems for $60. And there's like, it's cool. There's a little bar inside. They sell smoothies and beer and all kinds of stuff. Very nice. It's a really cool place. It's a really, lovely experience. And then there's Ernesto. Who is Ernesto, you might ask? Well, Ernesto is a hog, and he's blind. Ernesto's the blind hog. I wonder actually if we could bring up. We probably can. I bet you. They're chanting out there. It must be AA. Ernesto, the blind pig. There he is. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. He's got an Instagram page. We're not going to do that because, but we will. Oh, this is cool. They kind of got like the whole thing. Fine, fuck it. We'll bring up his Instagram. That's fine. I hope it works. It's not because a lot of times it's like you need to be on a phone. You got to be on a phone to be able to do that. Continue watching. Sign up. Log in. Fuck you. Never mind. We can't look at Ernesto. So Ernesto is a blind pig. He's at this place. He's got a cute little house. If anybody wants to go look at Ernesto the blind pig, you can find his on his Instagram, and if you sign in, you can watch it, whatever. And he's got a cute little house. He's got a yard. They painted it. He's got a porch swing. He's a little house inside of his enclosure. It's adorable. He's got like a service animal vest on, thus the thumbnail that we're working with today. And he's cute, man. He's cute. So we go over there. We fucking pet up Ernesto. He feels like shit. What I will say is after I pet him up, I smelled my hands because, sometimes you pet somebody's dog and you're like, whoa. Ernesto's hands didn't make me smell at all. I thought that was nice. Ernesto's hands didn't make me smell at all. Is that what I said? Ernesto didn't make my hands smell at all. And he was making cute little oinks. And we were just having a good time with Ernesto. We go, we do the rest of the thing. We circle back on our way out to say goodbye to Ernesto. We go, all right, kids, it's time to say Ernesto's hands. It's time to say goodbye to Ernesto. We can't forget to say goodbye to Ernesto. And we walk over, and he is laying on a little blankie. Adorable. Adorable. So we caught him. I mean, we called him. You said caught, Emily, and I'm just like all fucked up. We called him over. Said, Ernesto, we're leaving. We got to say goodbye. So, all the kids run over to him, and he gets off his little blankie, and he starts like messing it around. Like when you see like a dog. You ever see a dog like try to get its bed comfy, cozy, and it does like the circles, and it beats up its bed, and then it goes to. So we're like, okay, you're getting your little bed ready, Ernesto. He's getting sleepy time. The sun was going down. Ernesto's getting sleepy. And then, something changed. Something changed in Ernesto. I think Ernesto, he snapped. Now, Ernesto, he can't see, but he can hear. And he knew that we were there. And this is what really gets me about Ernesto, is he knew that we were there. And it was like he was saying, come closer, that I might hear you. Come closer, my eyes don't work. I can't see you, but I can hear you, children. Come over here to Ernesto. Yes. I'm simply getting my bedding ready to rest my head. The day is late and the sun is going down, and I can feel it in my bones. It is time for rest. Come closer, children. Yes. And we came closer. Oh, Ernesto. Getting your little blanket ready, Ernesto. It's time for sleep. Yes. Come closer. Yes, closer. Approach the gate, children, that I might hear you. And the children approach the gate, and we're coaching them on. Look, guys, look how cute Ernesto is. He's doing his little blanket. What's that? Wait. Ernesto, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ah, children, look upon my lipstick. Ha. I can hear you. I can hear your shrieks. I know you've seen my lipstick. Look upon it as I thrust upon my blanket. Children, are you entertained? This dude just starts just getting after it, dude. Just getting after it. Because he's doing some thrusting. And I said, look, he's just getting, oh, no, he's not. He's not. And the kids are like, what's that? And we're like, no. He's just getting comfy. But what's the horrifying red thing? No, that's just his lipstick. It's just his lipstick. He's just getting comfy. And I keep trying to I'm like, no, come on, kids, it's time to, and they're like, no. And he's like getting after it. And he gets after it. He gets after it until he's done getting after it, which actually was not that long. Happened pretty quickly. It happened pretty quick. So yeah, he lulled the children in. And and once they got close, he said, look at my lipstick, children. And the lipstick was his penis. And he showed the children his penis. And then he jizzed on his blanket. And it was hard to explain to the kids what was going on. And we were trying to because there's 3 kids and they're running around everywhere outside so it's really hard. It's not like we were all sitting single file watching Ernesto get ready for his sleepies. where it would have been easy to just like grab them and turn them. It was like you had to try to wrangle them. And as you're trying to wrangle them, they're like, what's Ernesto doing? What's that? What's that thing? Yeah. I thought about shooting him for what he had shown my son. Thought about doing it right there. Because I felt like it was intentional. I felt like he was just laying down. He was just laying down. And he only got up at the sound of my voice. So he's laying down. I walk over. I go, Ernesto, my guy. What up, baby boy? We're going. We just came here to say goodbye. And he got up. And then that's what he did. So what I'm saying is it felt malicious. It felt like, I don't know, it's a pig. And I hate to attribute this level of cognitive function to an animal. But it felt like he said, Oh, you come to say goodbye, huh? Okay. Yeah, I got something for you. Come here. Come here, I want to show you something. No, yeah, get the kids close. Come here. No, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I promise. Come on. Come close. Let me show you. And it all happened so fast. If I had to count the blaps, 6, 7 blaps. How am I supposed to wrangle these kids in 6, 7 blaps? As we turned, his job was complete. I gotta sneeze. Oh, that's not what I meant, guys. Stop that. 6, 7 blaps. Anyway, I can also tell you that based off the size of those hogs, not his hog, I can see how, like, that idea of like disposing a body on a pig farm is the pigs will eat it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they'll definitely eat it. Yeah, this is there was definitely a demon in that pig. He was so cute, dude. Like, I was petting him, and he was like, oink, oink, oink. Oink, 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 oink. Like, he's making little cute oinks. And I was like, this pig's so cute. He's like, I got cute. I'll show you cute. Yeah. Yeah. Anywho, let's get into one video. Afterwards, we went to a nice Peruvian restaurant. And, dude, I had like a fried seafood platter. It was so good. No, I know. All right, like, come on. It's just like when you dress. Listen to me, Eamon Rat, okay? I was sold a false bill of goods. He had a little house. Do you understand? He had a yard. He had a porch swing. Is it my fault? Or did they set up false expectations? He was wearing a vest. And he was very clean. So, okay, he's clean. He's got a nice house. He's got a porch swing. It's painted. There's beautiful flowers painted on his house. And his name, he's got a name. The other pigs didn't have a name, and rightfully so. They were satin slop. Satin slop and mud, disgusting, stinky. Ernesto wasn't stinky. There was no mud in his enclosure. He was very well groomed. He had a beautiful house that he cared. He had a 30-year mortgage. And I'm supposed to not expect at least some decency? I mean, the other pigs didn't do what Ernesto did. The other pigs didn't do what Ernesto did. I don't know, man. I feel like that's not my fault. Yeah. The only thing he didn't have was a lady. And to take care of business, a man's got to do what a man's got to do, I guess. Daggone it, Ernesto. Mullet Rider says, I'm so lost. I just watched a pig jizz, all right? It's not much to it. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to get into a little bit of content. Nothing too big, just a way to end this, and then we'll go on to the call-in segment of the show. Do I not have a tab open for... Damn, I guess I don't. All right. So this is interesting. We actually played something from Homeboy last time. And Homeboy is Return of Cappy Isaac's Army on X. And he posted something like kind of interesting. And it seems to have stirred the pot a bit. Uh-oh. That's weird. It's not loading. Oh, okay. It is loading. It's perfectly fine. So let's share this tab instead. And we'll make this big. So I don't know what context he posted it in. But you can almost see how... Well, let's show it and we'll get into it. I did not drink the knowledge of the oats. Brother. Share your oats with me, brother. So this comes from Isaac's Army, and it's what's Judaism's view on Satan? Salacious, no doubt. Let's get into it.
Hey, Rabbi, what's Judaism's view on Satan, the devil?
I got to admit, they sound annoying, right? Like the voice. And then look at this guy. He does look like a meme. I mean, this man looks like a meme. And I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying he looks like a meme, you know? I don't dislike him. But he looks like a meme. They worship him. Cue the danger music. Stop it. They don't worship him. Cut it out.
In Judaism, Hasatan, Satan, isn't an enemy waging war on God. It's more like a divine tester. He challenges us so we can show our true character. Unlike pop culture's devil, this Satan serves God's purpose.
I mean, once again, we're not saying anything yet about the content, but this guy is doing no favors to himself with this delivery method. I mean, I don't know what is this accent? I don't know what's going on here, but his whole, like, everything, his visage, right? Physiognomy, alarms going off. The delivery, alarms going off.
It's more like a divine tester. He challenges us so
yes, good sir.
we can show our true character. Unlike pop culture's devil, this Satan serves God's purpose.
And it's weird, too, because why does he... That little smile... I mean, I feel like you could make a bunch of memes out of this guy's face over and over again.
Devil, this
Why does he gets happy when he says devil? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's weird.
Satan serves God's purpose, highlighting our moral choices rather than fighting against God.
Yeah, I mean, 500,000 views on that one, and it's just weird the way he presents it. Nasty. Yeah. I want to hear him say that word, too. I bet you he says it like that. Nasty. Satan serves God's purpose. Yes. Come closer, children, that I may goon before you. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't disagree with that. I disagree with the pleasure with which he says it. But like, if you just look at, Job, it's like the whole story starts off with Satan being like, I've been walking around. I've been upon the earth looking at your creation. And God's like, oh, word? You seen Job? You seen Job, right? And he's like, yes, I've seen Job. While I was walking around creation. And he's like, Job crushes, right? Loyal servant. Crushes hard. And he's like, yes, he does crush. But I bet you he wouldn't crush if his life sucked. God's like, nah, dude, he'd still crush. Like, you just don't get it. Like, me and Job are tight. He crushes pretty hard. He's like, yes, but if his life were to suck badly, well, I bet you he would not crush so hard. I bet he would even curse you if his life sucked. And God's like, think so, huh? Oh, it's interesting. Maybe you go down there. Maybe we'll make his life suck. And we'll see if Job curses me. So like, yeah, that is kind of, you know, what happens. Yeah. I'll take that bet, you son of a bitch. So he, you know, Job's life sucks. His fucking family gets crushed by a house. He loses all. I mean, Job's like a super rich dude. He crushes really hard. He's like the richest dude in the land, and everything just goes fucking awry for him. You know, and then by the end of it. But within that context, it's like, yeah, Satan's a faggot. And he seems to be there to test you. So, I don't know. Raven casually trying to flex his shoes. Did I do that? By the way, these are basically caca stompers now. Wait, camera 3, go. Switch. Now. Camera 2. There we go. I took these things and stepped all through the shit yard of Ernesto's enclosure and everything with them. So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think it's just like when it comes from the mouth of like this dude, you go, you fucking Jew. You worship Satan. Yeah, Satan's goal is to steal souls from God. And God is like, okay, give it a shot, faggot. Let's see. Biblical Hitman, it's Steven. Sweet Steven says, Job teaches something so valuable. I use it with everything in my life. I cherish what God allows to be done to us. It's very important for growth with God. Yeah. You praise him in the good times. You praise him in the bad times. It's like a trusting process. We actually talked a lot about that at church recently. Yeah, so I don't disagree with this Jew. But somebody needs to give him like real PR lessons. Right. God gives us Jesus Christ for means of salvation. Exactly. It's right there if you want it. It's given freely. It's just like the way the guy delivers it. He seems like a supervillain. All right. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to make a pee-pees, and then we'll be back, and we're going to open the lines, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Also, Steven, you got to get back on the show, dude, soon. We got to see you. IRL, in the studio. The hell are you doing? Work? Life? Why aren't you here? You should be here right now. All right, guys. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. I'm going to go make a pee-pees now. baby. Feeling refresh. Empty of urine. A little recalibrated. We're going to talk about, or we're going to address some of these donations. While we're addressing the donations, if you feel compelled, you can call the number at the bottom of the screen, 321-209-8551, if you want to leave a voice memo. Maybe you don't have time for a phone call. You just want to say something really quickly. Whatever you want to do, set those up. We'll read those before we open the lines, or we'll listen to them, rather, before we open the lines. But we're going to address some of these donations real quick. You can see at the bottom of the screen, if you want to donate, you can do it at David Corbo 7 on pretty much all platforms. Oh, man. Interesting emails coming in here. All right, so let's check out Cash App. All right, thank you guys very much. We have some donations on Cash App. Let's check that out. Boop. And refresh. So. I have a pen? Yeah, let's do this. Thank you very much to Valkyrie for the $5 donation. She says Ravencore. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Blap, blap. I need a button. There was something. Oh, yeah. Top told me to download one for my phone, and I could hook it up to Bluetooth to the Rodecaster. We can have buttons again. Reasonable buttons. Not like the buttons we used to have. Thank you to Scott for the $10.13 donation. God damn it. He says, it says, your son reminds me of mine. Good job raising him. Thank you, Scott. That means a lot. You hope you're doing a good job. You know how I know sometimes that I'm not doing the best job? Is like when he goes to spend time with like other adults in any capacity. You know, if it's school and it's his teachers, or if he's on a show and he's talking about, and I'm just like, a little bit nervous. What's he going to say? How's he going to out us? We don't have any secrets or anything that we hide like that, but it's like maybe I've said a thing and he's going to repeat it. Like on the last episode that I did with him, he definitely let the word tranny slide out. He said tranny, and I was like, oh, Jesus. Don't say that. And then at one point he said boobies. I was like, boobies? What are you talking about, dude? And I think that little insecurity where I'm like a little bit worried is like probably somewhere in my subconscious. I'm like, you've said a thing or two you shouldn't have said. You're worried this kid's going to parrot it. And that's your indicator that you shouldn't have said it, right? I don't know. But thank you, Scott. That means a lot, man. I really appreciate it. If I can get out of this life having been regarded as a good dude, was a good father, was a good husband, and brought people to Christ, that's it. Like, there's been a couple of times in my life where somebody told me that I would, like, it's like, certain compliments, they come and go and you forget them and it doesn't mean anything. And then other compliments, they stick with you. Like one of them, there was this chick that I worked with and she was a nice girl. And it was a shop, right? Like a mechanic / fabrication shop. So as soon as a woman walks through the door, it's like everybody starts getting weird because it's just a bunch of dudes. And like, I'm a married man. So there was no ounce of weirdness in me. I just treated her like I treated everybody else. I was polite. I was nice. And that's it. You just kind of do like the bare minimum. Like I'm polite and I'm nice. And I'm not one of these dudes that are like hitting on you because I'm, and he's like, it didn't stop other dudes in relationships from hitting on her, but I never did it. And one day her time there came to an end. She went to go move on to a career. And she came up to me and all she said was, "You're a good man." And I was like, "Thanks." And then she walked away and I was like, "Thanks. Fucking thanks, man." And like, there's been a couple of times in my life where like I managed to step the right way and do the right thing and somebody went out of their way to say, "You're a good person." I'm like, fucking thanks. Like, if I can get out of here with a couple of those in my back pocket, a couple of people I brought to Christ, and if God looks at me and says, you're a good dad and you were a good husband, like, fucking yeah, dude. That's it. That's all I want. You can't take any of this shit with you. But if I could just, like, get out of this and be like, I did a good job. Did a good job. Like, I was good to the people that mattered. And I brought people in the right direction. And maybe, like, a little icing on the top. Like, a couple of people said, like, yo, this dude's a solid dude. That's it. I'm content. So good dad is real high on my list. And it's not easy. Thank you for the $4.54 donation, Scott, for the suckafishoff.com. Suckafishoff.com. Don't call me Fat Raven. I'm actually in good shape. This fucking thing just does nothing for me, huh? This camera, I just look like I've got breasts. I'll see you in purgatory. I don't know what it means. I don't know what that means, Emily. Thank you for the $4.54 donation. All right, cool. So that's it on Cash App for now, and then we're going to go to these things in a second. Let me just check Venmo. I don't know. I'm just like, just a conspiracy cuties. Like, why you look fine? I'm like, I don't know. It's just like the posture. What are you doing in here? You're interrupting my show.
You're literally off.
No, I'm still doing my show. It's very important.
Oh, it's over.
And you're just interrupting. You can't look at it.
What are you talking about?
Getting out of this life and having just been a good dude, a good dad, a good husband, and brought people to Christ.
Amen. Bro,
That's it.
that is everything.
That's it, dude.
Love that.
Get out of here. Stop coming in here. Jeez, man. Okay, we're on Venmo now. Stop it. What are you doing, Atma? Atma, you're sending too much money, dude. He sent me $3.33. We counted that last time. This time he said, this is for Jack. Merry Christmas. This is for you, little man. Not Fart David's money. All my son's money is my money. All my son's money is my money, Atma. And I'm going to buy something nice for me. I'm going to buy something not for Fart David. How dare you, sir? $10 donation from Atma. Thank you very much. And then there's another $28 from Atma. Mary, did you know? Merry Christmas. This one's for you. No, $38 is for me. Atma. No, this one's $28. Thank you very much, Atma. I appreciate it. Dude, Mary, did you know is a banger? Mary, did you know is a banger? Didn't know. Didn't know. Conspiracy Cutie, I could dox you right now. I got your full name and address. Thank you, Conspiracy Cutie, for the $10 donation. It just says NDS. I'll take it. Thank you very much. I'm not going to skip over Rumble. Stop it, guys. I wouldn't do that. Let me check PayPal real quick. Then we'll do Rumble. Then we'll get onto some of these voice memos. What's the call-in number? 321-209-8551. If you want to call in while the lines are closed and leave a voicemail, you can do that. And we'll play it live on air. And I'll talk to you just like you're really here. Okay, nothing on PayPal. Let's check Rumble real quick. Let's check Rumble. Here we go. Boom. And Rumble's weird, man. Okay, here's one. Subliminal Messenger with a $2 donation. He says it's cheaper to fly Scott in for repairs, to be honest. Well, if I still have it, I'll have Scott take a look at it when he shows up for Bohemian Grove, right? Because certainly Scott is going to make this Bohemian Grove, right, Scott? Right? Dude, I'm telling you, the way that I'm setting it up this time, like, it's a hang. We're all going to be able to really, like, I forgot who said it earlier, but they said community. Shout out to whoever said community earlier. Like, that's it, man. Like, we've built this thing up. We've got a spotlight on it. You know, we've proven it that it works. But now it's like, I don't have to prove anything anymore. We don't need all these big comedians. We don't got to do all this shit. This is about the NDS community, the dangerous retards. That's what we're doing this time. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Scott, if you missed this, dude, I think I'm going to be offended. I think I would be offended. BLGH with the $2 donation. He says, I'm about to start sending Raven boxes of mini rubber ducks. No, dude. If we get a Jeep, we're not doing rubber ducks. And I've explicitly stated that. And of course, my kid is like, but rubber ducks, because he sees it sometimes in a parking lot. And I go, no, that's gay. And we don't do that gay shit. Don't send me rubber ducks. I will not put them in my Jeep if I get a Jeep. I don't want rubber ducks. It is crazy how women just like took over Jeeps. Why, dude? Why? Okay, that's it. So we had those two. Thank you guys very much. And we're going to check out some voicemails. Send your rubber ducks to the standard coffee shop. Don't. I'll tell you what, though, guys. So a long time ago, you guys were asking if we had like P.O. boxes. We got this. We got the standard coffee shop in Lady Lake, Florida. You could send stuff here. Scott sent La Croix and hot dogs. Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab myself a La Croix. I'll be right back. I'm not even going to put music on. I don't care. Stressed out. Wow. All right, we're back now. That's nice, dude. I'll tell you what. Getting a sparkling water sponsor would be great. But, like, I'm not going to lie. When La Croix, because there's nothing in this, right? It's calorie zero. Everything is 0, 0, 0 down the but when you get to ingredients, this is where things get a little bit screwy. Because this is flavored like Raz cranberry. So the ingredients are only, and it's even put only in a different color font. Like it really wants you to focus on that and not what comes next. Only carbonated water, K, naturally essenced. The fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Naturally essenced. The fuck is that? Essenced? What does that mean? And it's got an asterisk next to that word, essenced. Oh, 100% plastic lining in the thing. Yeah. 100%. But what does that mean? What does it mean to be naturally essenced, I wonder? I don't know. All right, so let's play a couple of voicemails before we open up these lines. 321-209-8551. Give us a call. The lines are closed right now. But when I open them, or I will open them after we go through these voice memos. I got a little gassy. I got a little La Croix on me. Get a little gassy. All right, let's see. We got one right here, and we gonna play. Oh, wait, share this tab instead. Mary, did you know that your baby boy...
Hey, David, Weeper at Rock Band Church. It's Emily, your friendly neighborhood Catholic.
What does that mean? Weber at Rock Band Church. I mean, yeah, I guess they do a little rock band stuff. Shout out to the 501c3 system.
Mary knew. For the love of baby Jesus, Mary knew. She knew, and she still said yes, which is why we love her, which is why we venerate her, which is why she is better than all other women on the planet, and we could never. Mary knew. She knew the whole time. She knew the whole time, and she said yes. I'm very glad that you were moved by the Spirit, but I also want you to acknowledge that that is a manufactured experience. The church people got together and said, what would get them in their fifis? And they conjured up this little girl who seemed like a ghost to get you in your fifis, to get money in the plate.
That could be. That could be. I mean, you know, I know every, whatever, they have the tithing and stuff, and I never give. And there was actually a video that Matt was showing us recently where like this pastor, I guess he's a pastor, he's talking about like, so, you know, a lot of these concepts are new to me because I wasn't raised in the church, but like this idea of like a 10% tithe, I had no idea there was like a percentage on it. By the way, I don't think I've given more than maybe $10. I had a $10 bill on me one time and I gave $10. But like otherwise, I don't carry cash. And there's like a QR code that they put on the big screen on the big stage with the lights. And I was like, oh, okay, QR code. Like that's easy and convenient. And then I scanned it and it was like, it wanted me to download an app to be able to do it. And I was like, sorry, you're not getting any money now. But this pastor, he's like, talking on this video, not at my church, this is just like something on Instagram or some shit, and he's talking about like the importance of the 10% tithe. But then he goes on to say like that you're being greedy if you treat 10% as a ceiling. He's like, 10% isn't the ceiling, 10% is the base. The minimum is a 10% tithe. There's no limit on the ceiling. And if you don't do this, then, you know, it's seen as some sort of a, you know, he was basically saying it was greedy. And I was like, that's fucking crazy, dude. That seems crazy to me. Not nice guy. Where there are two or more gathered in my name, like you think prots don't have Jesus in their midst when they gather in his name. Yeah, and that's actually something that came up during the last sermon because it was heavy on community. And I'm not going to lie, like I've given the church a lot of shit and I kind of make fun of it and like, and I've said in passing, like the main reason that we go to church is for the community of it. But then this whole sermon was like on community, and he comes from Pastor Rick, and Pastor Rick is a dude like I 100% believe he's after the heart of God. Like this is not a man who's faking the funk. And he's talking about this community and just kind of like how we need each other. And it came at a time where like, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. Like my wife has been very down in the dumps. You know, it's not easy to move from one state to another state to another state. And I'm sure a lot of you guys this resonates with you in the chat, to keep relationships, you know? So it's like, I'm out here, I'm doing this thing. She feels isolated. And so now I'm looking at the church as like a lifeline for my wife and for what she's going through. And then it just so happens, like, because we had a whole conversation about it, like the night before, and then we go to church, and then the whole thing is about community and people who are lonely. That was what the sermon was about. And then it talked about, you know, Jesus wanting oneness in God for us, like he has oneness in God, like the way that the Father is in him is the way that he wants that for us. So, you know, so he was talking about like the idea of like the Trinity, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And, you know, really just the concept of like, this is a circle and that we've been invited into this circle. So it was crazy. Like he's just talking about all this stuff and like the loneliness that people experience and the isolation that people experience, and that we have the antidote. The antidote is oneness in Christ. And this community of people who share in that. And so it was like the first time where I was like, oh shit, like maybe there's something to this. Now, see, like that's an interesting thing, is this is the preacher man says the money is the root of all evil, and he passes around the collection plate and tells you to pay his tithes. Sort of, kind of, but like it's there you go. Not nice guy says the love of money is the root of all evil. Money is the thing that allows us to, you know, do what we have to do as we pass through this place. But it is the love of money that is the root of all evil, or at least that's what the Bible says, which makes a lot of sense to me. Spellbound Bear says, I lost my core group of friends for sending a single Bible verse. What? That sucks. That sucks. I hate that. Don't look at my moose knuckle. Scott, you nasty. Nasty man. Look at my moose knuckle. Not Nice Guy says make another baby. Only if God wants it to happen, it'll happen. So, yeah, I don't know. Just to say, like, in some ways, I would say we go to the church for the community. Because there's not a tremendous focus on scripture. What is interesting is, like, the way that I look at the songs, because, you know, it's like Matt will make fun of it. It's like 5 songs and then whatever. But I don't think since it's all new to me, like, I'm looking at the lyrics, I'm reading the lyrics, and I'm trying to understand the concepts. So, like, there's something for me to grasp there as I'm listening to the songs, and I'm like, that's an interesting thing to say, and I could see how, you know, yada, yada, yada. So I'm, like, thinking a lot about this. And I think what's great about that is, like, while I'm there, while I'm in church, I'm just hyper-focused on God, thinking about God. My thoughts are oriented towards God, constantly. I'm trying to understand the concepts in the song, you know, and then you're going through whatever. You're going through the short sermon where we are analyzing scripture and stuff. But, like, I would say I'm going there for the community. Then all of a sudden we go there, we have this, and it's like, yeah, dude. Yeah, the community's huge. Like, I look at you guys, and I go, the community is huge. That's what this is all about. Have her join the Discord chats, too. You know what it is? Sometimes I think, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like right now she's at the church and she's helping. And I'm praying that, like, she meets somebody who she connects with. I don't want her to feel like I don't want her to feel like any of her friends are just a friend of mine who becomes a friend of hers. And I don't think that that's how she sees it, but, like, I don't know. Isolation is hard. And loneliness is really hard. And, you know, maybe this thing that I've kind of made fun of for a time serves a greater purpose than I understand, which is highly likely, right? Okay, let's finish this.
You live in Florida.
Yes.
There's no shortage of wonderful Catholic churches. For the love of baby Jesus, find your way to one of them during this Advent season. Okay? I love you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Advent season. I don't know what that is. I don't think I'll be leaving my church anytime soon. I just don't think that there's any reason to leave my church. For whatever reason, God aimed me towards this one. I went my whole life without going to a church. And then I walked through the doors of this one. And what I find over and over again, it's happened a lot. Is God speaks directly to me and my wife through the sermons. It happened the very first time I walked through the doors of that place. It happened the second time I walked through the doors of that place. It's happened several times since I've started going. And then it's like, when I say directly to, it's like, yeah, the sermons speak to us. They speak to our hearts. You know, it's the word of God if you're reading from the Bible. So, of course, it speaks to you. But not like this. It is like I will be talking about a very specific thing the day before. And then I will walk into that church and the sermon will be directly about the thing I was talking about the day before. So it's working. This place allows God to reach me and talk directly to me. So then I'm going to just keep going. Nah, I mean. Okay, let's see. We got another one. Thank you for the voicemail. Let's go on to this one. And we're going to play.
Yo!
Yo!
I called last week, and I was just trying to trigger folks with trigger words like dispensation and harpazo and rapture and
Hell yeah.
I don't know what the other one is. Support the Jews or whatever. But my thought was, is that
Oh, I remember that because I was like, I don't know, I don't know what the hell, what this means, harpazo, and nobody would give me an answer. And sure, I'd say Google away, but you guys are like Google, and you're not answering me when I ask what's a harpazo.
I don't think the pedophiles are going to get outed until after the Protestant pre-tribulational rapture.
Oh, interesting. We have a pre-rapture, a pre-trib rapture enjoyer. But the rapture is not biblical. All right, yeah, I know. That's fine. Relax. The word rapture doesn't show up in script. Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's a word that means like supernaturally moved from one location to another, which has happened. But okay, hey, maybe it's not a thing. Might not be a thing at all. Just don't hurt me. Don't get so upset about it, guys.
And so what that's going to do is after it happens, they're going to use the pedophiles as a reason to take down all the governments of the world and install Antichrist and the 10-nation confederacy or whatever.
Ooh, that's very interesting. Yeah, I could see that as what the fuck? Oh my god. Somebody's airplaying to this TV accidentally. So like I can't see the chat anymore. I can't see anything. I could just see an AirPlay passcode because Oren is out there with his iPad and he's trying to connect to my TV. And I don't know what to do about that. I guess I'll just hit the back button. Okay, we're good. Stop doing that. That's an interesting line of thought, though. Well, let's finish this, and then we'll talk about it.
And that is kind of like Star Wars Empire taking over the Senate, remember?
Yeah.
That was what I was getting at last week. So I'm going to get at it again this week. And I'm totally not baked, even though I'm calling from Northeast Colorado. All right. Carry on.
I like this guy. This guy's super high. No, it's an interesting thought. Star Wars was definitely gay as fuck. Oh my god. This guy keeps trying to connect to my TV. Stop. So stupid. Yeah, but that's an interesting I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna go out there. Interesting series of events. Pre-trib rapture. Good Christians, good followers of Christ, people who have accepted the Lord as their Savior, who have asked the Holy Spirit to come into them. Dude, this is actually getting very frustrating. I'm going to go out there. You know what it is? It's these old people, and they don't know how to work technology. And he has no idea right now that he's repeatedly trying to airdrop to my fucking TV. I know you guys can't see it, but like, getting mad. Boomers. Raven, I just tagged you in a post about how they added Israel into the New Living Testament. Is that what it's? A New Living Translation where it shouldn't be. Son of a bitch. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Go to settings TV and turn off Wi-Fi. Maybe I'll do that. Well, we'll see what happens. If it happens again, then, whatever. I like the series, as far as a schizophrenic conspiracy line of thought goes. I really enjoy that. Do you want us to prank call the shop? No, don't. They're very stressed out there. I can hear Mason and Matt are up to their ears. Super. Should I just yell the code? He did it again. No, because then he'll just connect to this TV. We don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. They'll be totally swamped, and then you'll prank call them, and then they'll get all stressed out, and then they'll get mad at me. It's from all of our reviews. It's from everybody reviewing the Standard Coffee Shop on Google and on Yelp. Thank you guys so much. If you're listening and you want to figure out a way to contribute and you ain't got the money to do it or whatever, a great way to do it is go drop Matt a 5-star review on Google. It's awesome. And you know, drop a little NDS at the end of your thing so we know it's from you. Maybe I'll read them next time. We'll come on and we'll read some of the reviews. Oh my God, dude, I'm getting really mad. What I don't understand is like, how many times do you have to try the same thing and it's not working and you just keep doing it? Remember when people used to say that dumbass shit? That the definition of insanity was trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And it's like, no, dude, that's not the definition of insanity. Why did anybody say that? That's so annoying. Like, that just became, like, it's literally not the definition of insanity. But people used to say that. People used to love saying that shit in the early 2000s. You know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. Shut up. Shut up. That's not even true. I don't know where that comes from, but that's not true. Why do they say that? All right. Let's check. We're going to refresh it because I could have sworn I saw an extra voice memo come in. No extra voice memo came in. All right, guys, we're going to take it off of Do Not Disturb so you guys can call. The lines are now officially open. And speaking of open, Matt's opening the door and being very disrespectful. What's up, Matt?
Are you done or close to done?
Am I done or close to done? No, I'm not done or close to done. You want to sit in?
No.
Why not?
You have a lot of time left?
Not necessarily. I mean, my wife is helping out with the church, so like I'm just kind of chilling here. After this, I have to do some work.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, right now I'm waiting for a call to come in. If you want to grab your headphones, I believe those are your headphones, or they're in the drawer, and you could plug them in. And I think I might even be able to turn on this extra camera and aim it at you.
No, you don't.
Oh, I got a call coming in, so whatever you're planning on doing, stop interrupting me. Bing, boom, 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 boom. All right, thank you for calling the Raven. I am the Raven. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, this is Nola from Slower Lower, Delaware.
What's up, Nola from something, Delaware? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Thank you so much for all you do. I just had a baby, and thank you for keeping me company during pregnancy and after birth and all that.
Congratulations. Is it a boy or a girl?
Yeah, we named him Jasher after the book of Jasher.
Named him Jasher.
Solid
Yeah.
name.
That's so cool,
Yeah.
dude.
She's definitely conspiracy theory chick.
I like that, though. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And can I say something? So before we named him, I prayed. I was like, is this the name you want for my son, Lord? And where I worked in the deli, they hired a Jasher right before I left.
Dude, what are the
And
odds of that? Jasher is not a common name.
He has never met a Jasher. I have never met a Jasher. So I was like, all right, that's what I needed.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, let me say, I am O negative. I was a gate kid. My carry is a Glock 43X.
Nice.
I'm missing a tooth. It's number 5. I don't know if that's one you're missing.
I never counted
And,
them. Are you my sister?
It's a solid
I don't
NDS
know,
fan.
but I also had an Uncle Gary who I was very close with and was very formative in my life, that when I pray, I ask the Lord to pass messages to, because I was uncomfortable with praying directly to my uncle. And I remember you saying that once, and I'm like, oh yeah.
That's exactly what, yeah, because I'm I just know that there are all these familiar spirits that'll pose as your family members. And I'm just so
Exactly.
as far as I'm concerned, Jesus is the liaison between me and my deceased uncle. So if I want to pass any messages and pray for him and pray for his soul or tell him that I'm doing good, I do it through Jesus. And then I go and also you don't have to feel the need to call me back because I don't know that it's going to be you.
Yep, exactly. But I just want to say it was as much as I missed the timeline cleanse and the low income prime apes, I am so proud of you for doing what the Holy Spirit tells you to do. When he puts something on your heart, Like that's what the Christian walk's about, is refining ourselves so that when we meet him, we can have the ironed out robes. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of you for moving in that way and following what the Lord tells you to do. It's, as hard as change is. So you are absolutely crushing.
Well, thank you, Nola. I appreciate that. It's a clunky transition, no doubt, but I'm glad that I didn't lose a swath, because you never know like what kind of I don't know, like listeners you're cultivating, and I don't get like, so this is a great way to get a bead on like who the listeners are, right? Getting to talk to you guys like this, and I didn't really have that before. So I have no idea if I've just cultivated a bunch of people that are just there to watch me say the craziest shit on earth, and if I'm going to lose everybody. But that didn't matter. What mattered is what was being put on my heart. So, you got to go and have faith that it's going to work out. And I'm just pumped that so many people stuck along for the ride.
How can people send her
Stop
stuff?
it.
No, people in the chat are saying they want to send her goodies for the mama and the baby.
Whoa.
Like how do we do that?
Nola,
So cool.
are you on Patreon?
No, I'm the one I wrote in to Mason about the car. I don't have any internet account.
No way.
I have,
This is that chick? Wait,
this is me.
with the crazy
Car
story?
accident. Yeah.
Wow.
Mason, the chick that wrote the thing, is on right now.
And she's solid. Wait, you don't have, so what platforms are you on, Nola? Because I can send you some stuff. Like we can get you into the Patreon so you have access to like the chat and stuff like that. And I
have
can give it to you.
Yahoo email. That's it.
Well, all right. If you have enough internet access to be doing this, then you have enough internet access to be on the Patreon. I'd like to send you a free Patreon link. What's your actually, you know what? I have your email. If I look up Nola, it'll probably pull you up. I'm going to send you one because I think you should be in the community. I could see right now, if you watch the show, like there's all these messages coming in. You're a perfect fit for everybody. You're just like us. So come and hang and get a little community out of it. And yeah, I think people would like to send you stuff for the baby. Jasher is what you said, right?
Awesome. Yep, Jasher Dean. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nola. Thank you for the kind words, and God bless you, and God bless little Jasher. That's a really, I think that was, as far as I'm concerned, you don't bump into Jashers. I've never bumped into a Jasher.
No.
So for that to happen, all of a sudden one shows up in real life when you're asking God, like, if this is the name that you should pick, that's huge, dude.
Yep. And to take my place, in the department I worked at in this random store,
That's
it was
awfully
just
specific, Nola.
All right. Yeah, it was.
All right.
But
well,
let me share one more thing with
please.
you. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this pastor, Pete Ruckman. He was, he's my favorite pastor. He's got some Israel views and whatnot, but it's he came to it organically. The dude read the Bible hundreds of times and could make connections that you would never think of. And when I got saved, listening to one of his sermons, because it helped me walk through that door. And the sermon was, we are all Barabbas, Barabbas, the murderer.
Amen.
Who was allowed to be let go in Jesus's place, truly understood the crucifixion. And he says, Bar is son of Abba, the Father. So it's we're all sons of the Father.
Oh, that's what bar means?
Nola, you know what's intriguing?
Bar Jude, what?
They say, he was the first one who was able to look at the cross and say, I should have been the one there. He took my spot. He was the first one to be able to say that and to see it that way. They said maybe he's rioting and things are going crazy and he's going with the crowd. He's doing his thing. And then maybe he runs across the front of the cross and looks at Jesus and says, oh, damn. I was supposed to be on that cross. Yeah. But we all have to see that.
And yeah, when I saw that for the first time, that was that was the step I needed. And the rest is history. But yeah, so
Nola, you're a cool chick,
you guys
man.
So much.
One thing about
thanks.
the NDS fans is real recognize real. That's the more I
told
talk
you. You
to
thought
people,
they were for crazy people.
No,
in the
I'm
beginning
not
ago.
saying they're not crazy
they're
people. I'm
definitely
just
crazy
saying that
people.
like from all different kind of walks of life and from all different places, like that is a thing, bro. It's like real recognize real. And that's really what people want. Like they don't care social status or money status or like whatever. Real people just like real people.
That's it. That's it.
Exactly. Real recognize real. That is true. And y'all are some real ones. So thank
Yeah,
you
you
so
are.
much. All right. I hope you have a great day, guys. Take care.
Same.
You too, Nola. I'm working on sending that to you actually right now, so you should get it in a few minutes. And that way for the next show, we're gonna do a show later on today, and you could hop into the Patreon and hang out with with a lot more like-minded folks.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem. Appreciate you, Nola. Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I just want to turn the line off really quick because I got to make it a point to do this. If I don't do this now, then I'm.
Well, in the meanwhile, I got to ask the chat, guys. What do you guys think about me and Raven's upcoming show that we're doing
wait.
together?
Let me.
What do you mean? Wait.
No, I want to turn this camera on.
Well, no, you don't have to. I'm just saying, what do you guys think about it? Because I must have came late and didn't see where you talked about our new show.
No, I didn't talk about the show yet.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Wait. So, what do you guys think about the new show for me and the Raven?
Oh, damn, it just worked like that? How crazy was... Oh, that's so nice, dude. You just turn on the camera and go ahead and talk. Yeah, look at that. Dude. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. That was really easy
Okay,
to
guys,
do.
me and the Raven are doing a show. Do you guys want to... You guys think that's cool?
Go
You think
ahead.
it's
Tell
stupid?
them they
Like,
don't even
do
know
you
what the
guys
show
think?
is. I've not talked about it at all because I'm like,
What?
whatever.
Bro, why
You
am
know,
I
like,
so
whatever.
low on the totem pole of your
It's
life?
just like it's like
dude?
not a big deal. It's like whatever, dude. You
I
Like,
know,
that's
but
how I
to
feel
me,
about it.
it's like I've been telling everybody, yeah, me and the Raven are having this new show, and you don't
Yeah.
even like care.
No, it's like it's not that I don't care, but it's just like like.
Well, can you
whatever,
kind of
dude.
explain what it is? Because I don't really.
So what it's gonna be is like like Matt is super into. He's like he really loves him a lot. He loves him so much. It's like Timothy Alberino. He's like I really like the way that he dresses and like he carries a whip in public and stuff like that. And that's like super cool.
No, I'm just saying he's done rad stuff.
No,
He's done
I
really
agree.
rad documentaries.
It's like
That's it.
so rad. So basically what we're going to do is like there's all these documentaries, there's all these DVDs and such. So Matt has been trying to get me to watch them and I haven't watched them because I just don't. Well, it's like, it's a long time. It's an hour and a half, something like that.
They are great documentaries, dude.
I don't watch anything. So like for example, somebody's been telling me to watch this whole series and I put this whole series on, haven't watched any of
The
it.
series is too much. This is just like one thing.
Well, it's just like what I mean to say is it's on in the background. I'm not doing anything. Like it's just back there. And I'm not watching it at all. So
Okay, tell the people I gotta go, but it's gonna be
okay,
big.
all right.
It's
So
gonna be big.
I'll tell him. Yeah, fine. I'll set up the camera and everything for you. Just leave. Okay, shut that door, or don't shut the door. I don't really care what you do. So let me do something real quick. I can't see. I'm gonna set this so that it stops looking at his empty chair. Is that it? No. Is that it? All right, fine. We'll do that. So we're gonna do like a watch party. We're gonna get together and we're gonna watch Indiana Moan's documentaries. And I don't really dislike Timothy Alberino. I like to make Matt think that I hate him, and because it's fun. But I don't hate him. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot of really fascinating stuff. He's got these old DVDs before he got big, and we're gonna watch him. I've never watched him before. Matt's a big fan, and we're just gonna give commentary. So. I asked once upon a time if you guys would be into that, and you said you'd be into it. So I hope it's still, something that you guys would like. Also, by the way, when we moved to this, remember I told you guys at the top of the show about the advertising and what we're going to do with sponsors, and it's going to be less ads, which means less people are going to convert to Patreon because it's going to be manageable. So in order to incentivize people to come to Patreon, given that we have like 1,000 paying members on Patreon, like that's a great audience. We're going to start offering at least one Patreon exclusive episode per week. To incentivize people to come over, but to also give you guys something. Like it's nice that you want to support us, but we don't give you like a whole lot. We give you like the live chat, and that's cool. But like, what if we gave you guys like, look, you give us money. Without you guys, like most of what we do is impossible. What if we gave you guys like, yeah, here's a whole ass like exclusive episode. Doesn't air anywhere else. It's just for you guys. I think that would be cool. Sounds awful. Can't wait. Thank you, Amen Rat. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, no, hold on. He got me here, and I got to send this to Nola. So I'm just gonna mumble this as I go through it. For Nola and Jasher, I'm gonna screw this up. Jasher. Yeah. Okay. Which tier are you gifting? Well, let's give her full blown dangerous retard. For how many months? We're gonna do it for a year. Boop, 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 boop. 12 months, 13 months, 15 months, 16 months. I don't know, whatever. Can't exceed 12 months. Okay, fine. 12 months. How many people can claim it? 1 people. God bless you and thank you. Promotion start. What's today? The 24th? Yeah, let's get it. Okay, cool. Create gift link. Okay. Now we're going to copy the link. Guys, I'm sorry, but I just think if I don't do this right now, I won't remember to do it. And we got to get Nola into, because that's my sister. She's missing the same tooth and everything. We got to get her into the community. So there we go. Boom, send. Now, Nola, it's not easy. It's not easy to get into into like the StreamYard thing. But like, give it some time, have some patience. If you have any questions, the Dangerous Retards are awesome. Every time I see somebody ask something and like we're not able to get to him, the community always responds right away and goes, this is how you do it. So like, guys, help Nola through. Let's get her in here. Sister Mommy Raven, that's Sister Mommy. Nola's Sister Mommy, all right? She's the homie. And I know some of you expressed wanting to send gifts to little Jasher. Banger name. Maybe you guys can figure that out. Yeah, if you could send her, excuse me, if you could send her the Telegram link. Z-Man is our moderator for Telegram. He does a great job. Z-Man just does a great job. What a good guy. And so, they got you, Nola. They'll help you out. Scott says, save me a spot on Wednesday, Raven. We'll talk finding a car for you. Well, it's like, dude, I got to when I have to find a car, I got to find a car like immediately. Because I have to drive to Boca. So I know I'm going to be really like limited. I'm hoping I see Nola's name pop up soon in the StreamYard chat. Okay, so let's open the lines again. Sorry, guys. I wanted to, like I said, wanted to make sure I did that because if I didn't, I was going to forget. Oh, my God. Matt really runs his shop like a tyrant. He really runs. Oh, my wife has sent wonderful pictures of the decorations that they got up in the church. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. I don't know how I could show these on screen. I don't think I can. That's nice. They got 3 Christmas trees, three offerings to Nimrod. Nola says Raven is gay. There we go. We got her. She's in here. Here we go. That was fast. I don't know if I trust that that's actually Nola. We just downloaded Telegram and look for the chat haven't used. I know it's confusing. One day I'd like to get it all consolidated on like an NDS website where we have like the chat and everything built in and we don't have to depend on places like Patreon and stuff like that. But, for now it is what it is. We got what we got. Okay, Matt's back. So
we're blowing up. We're going to be able to do that in the future.
I asked people about if they wanted us to do something like that, and they said, no, I hate it.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why they're like this, but they do.
Dude, these old documentaries on Giants are really good.
Yeah.
Dude. It's got Steve Quayle. It's Gen 6 Productions. It's Steve Quayle, Tom Horn, and Timothy Alvarino. They're good, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
No, they're saying they want it, dude.
No, who says they want it? Yeah, I don't see. Right now, they're worried about trying to get Nola in because they're all very helpful. Isn't that cool? So, I give her the thing, and then they're like, don't worry, we got her. We're going to figure out how to get her in here.
I love that, man.
Yeah, dude. They're great.
What a great fan base of like real ass people.
That's what I'm saying. And you said that they were just names on a screen, and you didn't believe that they were real in the beginning.
Well, no, I
And
know,
like,
but when I talk to them and when I see them do stuff, then they're real.
they're
But,
real, dude. They're awesome people.
Some are got to be bots.
And I think what we do is we do a great job of like people that look at that, you're like a beloved 501c3 system that's like a little bit too exclusionary. It kind of feels a little exclusionary in some point. Can you focus? Don't read what they're saying. I'm having a conversation with you. Unbelievable.
No, I'm just seeing the one about time travel. But
Do a
wait,
time
what are
travel.
you saying that we should do a 501c3? What?
No.
What did you just say?
If you were paying attention, you would have heard. What I'm saying is the 501c3 system is a little exclusionary. And I don't know what it is. It's not like they're pushing people out of the church, but they have a way.
Real folks do not go there, bro.
That's kind of like, I don't want to say that.
I mean, they will, but they know they don't belong. Like that. Like that's the thing. Real folks will go to the church, but they know there's something very plasticky happening there. Very plastic.
Yeah.
Stop with the bath.
You wanted the bath salts?
No.
Here you go, dude. Have some bath salts. There you
No,
go.
I'm not into that.
So you're into it, dude. So look at this. This is so
Why?
because
Do they see that?
No, they don't see it. Some boomer out there is trying to connect his iPad to the fucking TV.
Is that what's happening?
That's exactly what's happening, and he has no idea. And it's fine, and there's no way to identify who's doing it. But good God, yeah, it's happening a lot. So
We'll have to get a workaround for that. But okay,
There's nothing to do.
So what we were saying that the 501c3 thing
it's a
is
little
like real
exclusionary,
folks. Yeah,
and we get to talk to the real folks.
I know. You're really touching on a major thing, dude.
Major.
This is a major
What is
reality.
it? What's the major
Is
thing?
that real folks can only last in that system for so long. Jess always says that. She always says that. She's like, we love it. We want to be a part of it, but it's like we can only go so long, and then it's just like, oh, it's so fake.
Well,
And
my wife is there right now, and she's setting up Christmas decorations, and she sent me some of them.
Seems fine.
And the whole sermon was about oneness in God and community.
Love that.
And how like we need each other. Oh, well, look, we got a phone call. We'll have to finish this conversation later. Don't read the number, okay? I know you want to read the number, but don't do that. Thank you for calling the Raven. Stop it, dude. Thank you for calling the Raven. This is the Raven speaking. What's your name? Where are you from? Also, Matt's here.
Oh, also Matt's here. He's actually the reason I called. Hey, David. It's amazing.
Wow.
Hey,
Oh,
Matt.
We're going to love our show that we do.
I'm just an aside.
We're a
Please
good
go
team.
on.
I was team watch party. I have no opinion on Alberino or.
No, tell me the truth about what you feel about Alberino. Don't hold back. I know you probably.
I was getting there, David Leanne.
Okay. All right.
I don't really have any interest in the time suck things that Alberino has gotten himself into over the years, but more information is always good. And at the very least, some people will either say, "Huh, that's interesting," or they'll be like, "That's gay as hell." And either way, it's content. It is an opportunity for people to consume things and hang out together, which is good.
Do you hear him? This is so crazy. He's like, yeah, I know you're here and you're talking about something that's very important. And then Matt's just like, I got a coffee shop to run and I'm going to talk into the microphone about it.
I was out of the mic when I
No,
said
it
that.
was. Everybody heard you.
Wait, can we
And
talk to the chick? All I saw was her
She's
thing was
talking
like,
right now.
I
She
want to
said-
trigger people or it said something like that.
No,
What was
stop
that?
reading the chat. We have a caller on the line. Emily has said that.
Where are you from, Emily?
Unbelievable.
I live in Morton, Illinois. I'm kind of a big deal, T-Matt.
I understand that. You sound like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, TopLobsta hates me, but everybody loves me, and I'm never wrong. And I notice everything.
I like that.
How do you feel
Yeah,
about
Wait,
that?
is Emily her name
I'm
on
more-
the chat or that's her real name?
That's her real name. We just doxed her.
Okay.
On the chat, it's EMP 1990, but I dox myself because I'm a real person and I dare you
Exactly.
to pull up.
Exactly.
Emily Pareca of the God Bless the Parecas.
God bless the Parecas.
Intriguing.
Yeah, that's a hard dox. But I mean, it's permissible. She has a show and everything, so she's already hard doxed. But
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
she says that she thinks it would be just more content. Some people are going to think that Timothy Alberino's a little bit gay. I don't know who would say that or why they would say that, but some people are going to think that the
Definitely
information's
not 'cause
cool.
of
The whip.
Indiana Jones look.
The Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But
the
I'd like
whip.
to address this thing about that Top doesn't like her. I would just like to say join the club.
What? The,
You know
people that
what?
Top doesn't like?
Yeah, he doesn't like me either. Like I mean, sometimes he does, but a lot of the time I'm like, bro.
I don't think he likes me.
I'm pretty sure he does.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't like me.
You know what? I love the little Puerto Rican T-shirt vendor boy. I do.
Solid description.
And he can feel how he feels, and that's fine.
TNA knows.
Yeah. So, That's okay. But I was putting it in the chat earlier because I had mentioned purgatory. I'll see David in purgatory. I'll see all my homies in purgatory.
What is
Y'all don't know
purgatory?
it yet, but that's right. I wanted David to ask Matt what is purgatory and see what Matt had to say about it.
I don't know anything about purgatory because it's not found in the Bible.
Dang,
So,
dude, what does that mean?
Oh,
it
but
just
it
means...
is. But it is though.
Go ahead, Emily.
Let me pull it up because I'm not like an apologist or anything.
Same.
I don't even know what that word means.
Purgatory is the in-between that you go to where for purification, because nothing unholy enters heaven. And I don't care who you are when you die. You're not holy. You're just not. None of us are. Like, not a single person is.
This is like a waiting room?
So, sort of. So purgatory is where you go for purification.
The only reason
and-
I would struggle with this is because you've got one chance. It's appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment. And Christ is our righteousness. So you're right. None of us are right, but we're right in Christ. I just don't want to give anybody the misconception that after you die, you'll have a chance to get right with God. You get one chance in this life. So that's why
you have one chance, right? You have the one chance to get it right. You're either damned forever to hell, which is the lack of God's presence, or yes, you have done well enough, but there's this other process that you have to go through. It's like boot camp. It's
no,
like
but there
heaven boot camp.
can't be a well enough. We're saved by grace through faith. It doesn't have anything to do with doing well enough or doing good. We're not saved by works. We're not saved by doing good. Now the reward system is based on what we do if we're doing good, but we're saved by grace through faith.
And what does your faith force you to do?
Works, amen. So it's like fire and smoke. We've talked about it before. So you're not saved by the works, but if you are saved by grace through faith, we know that faith without works is dead, so you will have good works. And the reward system is based on that, but salvation isn't based on that.
Yeah, so the reason why most people don't know anything about purgatory is because it's actually in the Maccabees. And
I'm
Maccabees
just
and two
not a
Maccabees.
specialist on that. Yeah, I'm just straight Bible.
And not many people are, because in the Maccabees, I'll give you the short version. In the Maccabees, the Jewish people realize that they are being oppressed. Their leaders are taking advantage of them. Their faith has been weaponized against them. And they say, my God doesn't want this for us. And so they revolt. And they get a little hoity-toity, and they're pretty successful, which is where the zealots, the very zealous order of Jewish mercenaries, of the Jesus times, the zealots, that's where they come from. They're the remnants of the Maccabean revolution, revolt, whatever you want to call it, which is why Pilate is so jumpy about Jesus and his influence on the Jewish people. He's like, I can't have another Maccabean revolt on my hands. I do this again.
Well, back to the real recognized real thing.
Yeah.
I think Pilate's real issue was like, damn, I've seen men squirm before me when I have this power over them, and this man is not squirming. He's not even mentioning a word. And I think he's more coming to terms with who he's dealing with. Remember, his wife warned him in a dream and said, be careful with that righteous man. And he's dealing with this man to the point where he's saying, like, what is truth? I think he's just coming to terms with who he's dealing with in that moment. And that's why he's in shock.
Absolutely. Catholics acknowledge that Pilate definitely knew what was going on. He put two and two together, and that's why he cleaned his hands of it.
Wait, so this is a Catholic thing we're talking? You're saying you're Catholic. That's what this discussion is?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Got it. Some
I've
of my
been trying
favorite
to get
people
things
on
to
the
be Catholic
planet
for
are
2
Catholic
years.
people, actually.
Yeah, we're pretty all right. But I mean, we're just fleshy meat sacks who are turds, but we go to confession and try to not be turds for a while.
That was a weird one,
fuck
man.
it
I
up
went to the
again,
confession when I was a kid, and then the dude was like, he's on the other side of the thing, and I said, like, oh, yeah, blah,
you
blah,
did that?
blah. Yeah, I did this and that. And then he goes, go say this, our Father, and this Hail Mary and stuff. When I got a Bible, I could have went back and choked the guy, man. He never told me anything about Jesus dying for my sins and that Jesus was what made me right with God. He never said any of that.
That's crazy.
He said, oh, you're living in
but
sin,
that's
go
the
say
thing
these
is,
prayers. I
so-
was like, bro.
Because you should be remorseful for your sins. So every one of our sins is exactly why he was nailed to the cross. he knew that so-and-so was going to goon on Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. and spill a seed unrighteously and self-abuse. Like, he knew that was going to happen. And those are the sins that he took on. So he took on all of our sins, and we should have remorse for them and contrition for them, which is why you have penances, which is your Marys or your Our Fathers, or for like me, I got the sorrowful mysteries the other day.
Well, we're boldly going before the throne. We're not going through Mary. But to the point about the sins plural, you're right. There's the sins plural, but there's also the sin nature, the sin singular that we're all born into. Because to your point, you're saying like we're not going to be right with God. You're right, because we're born into the sin nature. We're only right because we identify in Christ by faith. That's the only way we're right before God. There's no amount of purgatory, or there's no amount of works. There's no amount of any of that makes us right with him. But surely if we're saved by grace through faith, we will have the good works, like you're saying.
Well, to that I say, I'll see you in purgatory, my boy.
No, you won't, but I love you. You're a very sweet lady, and I love a ton. Like I said, some of my favorite people on the planet are Catholic.
Emily's the best. They've been supporting what we're doing over here since, like, dude, I don't even know how early literally jump, right? I mean, I don't think I could even say that there was a. Oh, hold on a second. Let me just ignore this so it stops ringing in my ears. And it's not.
Sorry,
oh wait, is that my cell phone? Oh, that's my cell phone ringing. Never mind.
It's probably Miss Raven. Go ahead and take it.
Yeah.
Or it's top saying.
Okay,
get her
I'm
off
listening.
The line.
I'm listening, Em.
I was just gonna say I was aware of TopLobsta and his antics, and then I saw that he was doing NDS, and I was like, "What is this about?" And then I found David, and I was like, "That is a sweet, sweet summer child," and I don't think I can not watch this train wreck.
Right.
But it's actually very nice watching the evolution of David Leanne, and I genuinely want him to find the answers that he seeks. I just also know that he is a sweet, sweet retard, and I don't want him to get taken advantage of.
Who's that? What now?
So
I respect that.
Yeah.
He's
So
actually a solid dude with incredible insight. It's very intriguing.
And he really is. He really is. But
you guys didn't hear my wife on the phone, right?
Yeah,
no,
we
we
did.
didn't.
That was
okay.
very
Stop
weird.
it. Stop
That was
it.
very
Okay.
weird.
All right. No, I believe
very
Emily.
Embarrassing.
Because that was weird. Because it was coming through my headphones, and so I was like, wait, can the chat hear this? But that's good. That didn't happen.
Okay, let's get Biblical Hitman in touch with Emily. This is good, man, where he's going into the Vatican, the obelisk, the architectural design. Like, we know that system is incredibly corrupt, probably the most corrupted, wicked system on the planet, the Vatican. But the people within that system, we know those are lovely people.
I'm not support everything Mother Church does, and by that I mean the fleshy men who are sitting in seats right now. I do not agree with all of it. I am very much frustrated and annoyed and nearing despair most days on the state of Mother Church. But I also understand that fleshy men will do fleshy men things, and we're all short of the glory of God. None of us.
You were about to say
none of us are going to be perfect. I was, but I stopped.
And I've had customers actually who said you can be Catholic but not papist, and I said, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I don't get down with the Pope or any of this stuff, but I'm Catholic.
I'll beat the Pope's
ass. I
ass.
still pray for Pope Leo. I still pray for Pope Leo, and I prayed for Francis, but I pray that they make the right choice and they listen to the Holy Spirit when it speaks to them, and that the Holy Spirit is able to move them to not be fleshy turd sacks. So, that's what we want. That's what Jesus expects of us whenever he says, pray for your enemies.
Look, Matt's trying to orchestrate a coffee shop at the same time.
Then just unload everything.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
He's
got a job to do.
He does have a job to do.
But I love Emily. I want to make sure she knows that. Even if we don't agree on purgatory or whatever, that, it's all good. We still love each other.
No, I mean,
fine, Matt. I think overall you're a good influence on David, and your presence can continue existing.
Thank you. I have some rough days, Emily, if I'm being honest.
A stranger. Huh?
I have some rough days with this guy, if I'm being honest. So I appreciate that.
That's not true. Every day is a wonderful day.
I had to stop watching our boy because it was sending me into a stroke. Every show was sending me into a stroke.
Yeah.
I could feel my blood pressure rising.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not right next to him to choke him out or to nozo him when necessary. So I understand the hard days.
I think I don't know. I think every day is a wonderful day.
You would, you idiot.
Rejoice in
you're
the day
one
that
curating your own reality.
the Lord has made. He's made this day,
Yeah.
and every day is a wonderful
You
day.
do love every day. That is one thing I admire
Every
about
day
you.
is the
Very
shit,
happy
dude.
man.
Be thanking God every day because every day
You're just
crushes.
a little sweet summer child.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Well,
right, Emily. I will talk to
okay,
you
get back to your
next time.
show.
All right.
Emily.
All right. Bye.
God bless the
Peace.
Parecas. Where's that button? Okay, it's ended. Okay. Yeah, see, we have people from all over the place. Catholic people. We used to have some Buddhist people. I don't think they listen anymore after that episode. Did you ever watch that episode, by the way, Matt?
I saw some of it. You were actually really good. The little bit that I saw, you were very plain, clear spoken. I was like very impressed.
Well, because I knew that it was a serious thing because the last thing I want to do is mislead anybody, but I also didn't want to be disrespectful. So it was a challenge. I wanted to make sure that I was fair and measured. Okay. We got another one.
That's the same one.
Are you locked in? No, it's not.
I don't know. I think.
Thank you for calling the Raven. This is the Raven again. Not again, but the first time. What's up? Who are you? Where are you from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Andrew from Texas.
Andrew from
Andrew
Texas.
sounds normal.
What's up, dude? Are you leaving, Matt? You got to get up as soon as unbelievable. What's up, Andrew from Texas?
Oh, not much, man. I called last episode. I don't remember, Wednesday.
Oh yeah. We talked about your job, right?
No. What did we talk about? I think I meandered for a little bit, and then I recommended that probably Alexander girl.
Yeah. I have that written down still. Actually, I meant to reach out to her the other day, but I didn't do that. What's going on, brother? Why is that looking?
Oh,
at an
not
NPC?
much. I was kicking myself because I remembered that she's, I don't know how close she is to online, but she does a Substack, so I don't know. That might be like the closest lead because she's not like really in the creator space anymore, kind of.
Yeah, well, people have recommended Substack to me, but it's my understanding that it's all written words, and I don't know if you know this about me, Andrew, but I struggle with reading. So I have
the literary arts.
The literary arts, yeah, not my strong suit. A lot of words. Not a lot of pictures. It's not great. So, I mean, but if that's the way I have to reach out to her, then that's the way I have to reach out to her.
Yeah, it was just more like a tip because I was like, oh, you know what? He's probably going to look out and like, she's not really, in the creator space like all the people these days. And I was like, oh,
All right. Well, I mean, I'll write that down. Maybe just write down Substack, and I guess if I reach out to her one way, like if I find her email or something and she doesn't get back, then I know Substack. I got her stuff right here, actually. Will be the way to do it.
Word. Well, I also had one point, man, and it's going to come across antagonistic, and I honestly...
How dare you, Andrew?
But this is something, man, that I've seen for decades. Like I grew up, reading the Word of God, and like I see things within certain things, like... I hate to say it, but the Catholics, man, like there's a couple points I just wanted.
Hold on, Andrew. Be nice to the Catholics. They're very sensitive.
I know.
We know some lovely Catholics, Andrew.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, you got to separate what Catholicism is and the people.
Yes,
I think,
yes.
Obviously, but there's one, actually, like 3 or 4 points I made that kind of might help to drop the scales off of the eyes, and one of them is basically like, I'm sure you've at least heard how they pray to Mother Mary and the saints.
Now, and I know that, and they would argue it's not prayer to, it is a veneration,
it's an intercession,
and it's an intercession. So it's asking them to pray on behalf of them. Because the prayer of a saint, I suppose, I'm not, this is something I don't know, but it seems to me that the prayer of a saint or the prayer of Mother Mary on behalf of you is a powerful one. And I'll have you know, Andrew, I just listened to that song, Mary Did You Know? And it's a banger of a song. So please be careful.
I do remember. I think I remember when that first came out, or at least the first time I heard it.
I didn't know. Apparently, Top's wife said that she was singing that when she was like 14 years old. So, this has been around.
Yeah,
to me, it's all new, dude. And I'm like, this is a great song.
No, okay. So here's my point. I have to say, and those are the common arguments and rebuttals about the saints and Mary, but it's in my I don't know. In my perspective, I see it as actually like a distraction, because the bigger point is, and is Matt still there?
Matt is here in spirit. He just put down a hot coffee and then he walked away again.
Okay.
Yeah, come sit down,
Because
Matt.
he'll get this one too. Because here's the point about the Mary.
Andrew from Texas says you'll get this one. He's making a point about Mary and the saints within Catholicism. So put those over your ears and let's. Do you know how to put these on? You need some. You good? It takes you a second. Let me put this back on.
I have a real job, bro. Like,
No, I know you have a real job. I'm just asking if you can put headphones on. I know that. This isn't about you. I'm asking, do you know how to?
His name?
Yeah, those aren't over your ears, dude. Those are just like in your ear. Okay, there you go. Great. Andrew from Texas. And it's I got that out of the way. You don't have to ask him where he's from.
Andrew, let's go. Where at in Texas?
Oh, come on, dude.
Gotcha.
Geography.
Oh, I'm outside Austin. I used to be in Austin, but 2020 happened, so.
Ah, yeah. And Austin is.
I lived in Fort Worth for a while.
You just lived everywhere, didn't you?
Well, I won't say too much, but yeah, I have family over there.
I had some friends in Weatherford, outside of Fort Worth.
Oh yeah, I got family Richardson all the way up in Dallas and
Wait, so what are we
Maine.
talking about?
Andrew, don't talk to him about geography
Saints
because he'll
and
bog you
Mary?
down in
We're gonna get
geography.
lost.
It's the number one question he asks everybody. He's like, "Where are you from? I live there too." All right, so he's saying that
You're very rude.
he's talking about maybe some of the concerns he has with Mary veneration and veneration of the saints.
Right. Well, if you're a Bible,
Well, it's not even veneration. I mean, I do see it. I do see it as veneration, but here, that's not the argument I'm making.
Okay.
Here's the biggest misdirect I think that people miss, and like think about it this way: you have a cell phone, right, Raven? Like I called you on some number at least,
Yes.
right? And you're human. There's only one of you, right? You don't claim to be all knowing or the Bible has a term for God. It's omnipotent, all powerful, omniscient, all knowing,
Omnipotent, right? Everywhere, all at once, in
and
all
omnipresent.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's say I'm calling you, but there's hundreds of other millions of people calling you at the same time.
Oh.
How many calls can you take?
That's interesting. So the question is, when they die, do they somehow become omnipresent, omnipotent?
I don't think that's what he's getting.
And
Well, no, I think.
Andrew, it is. I'm driving to the point of when you pray to quote unquote Mother Mary or the saints who have passed. How can they? I don't know.
How can they pick up all those phone calls at once?
How can they pick up all those phone calls at once? They're not all powerful. They're not omniscient. They're not omnipresent. And when you answer that, is my question to the Catholics, and it's not like an antagonistic one, but it's one to really question,
inquiry.
And when you come up with your answer, be careful that you don't deify anyone other than God.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because
Well, what do you think about that, Matt?
That's very plain through the scripture. Like, what are you have to make this up that you're going to pray to saints. Some would go as far as calling that necromancy, right? Communicating
what
with
they
the
would
dead,
do
like
then-
the witch at
yeah.
Endor, who Samuel gets brought up because Saul tells
I'll take it one more step, and I hate to use this because this
Use
is
it,
truly
brother.
what I
Let's
think
go.
it is. All right. Anything that adds to or takes away the power of Christ is what? What would the Bible say about that?
I don't know.
Antichrist. Is it not?
It's an interesting.
Like,
thought.
let's say, Christ is how to get to the Father. Jesus Christ is the only way to the Father, except you got to do this. That's, to me, I see that as the spirit of Antichrist, because what it is,
get
it's
down with that. The spirit of Antichrist, yeah.
it's like filling. It's like, oh, well, that could. It's kind of acknowledging it with words, but being like, actually, there's other things you got to do, and there's and I'm not the first one to come up with this. If you read the history about Catholicism, you'll see like in the Dark Ages, there was a growing trend to call the Catholic regime Antichrist. And
Yeah,
so
all the
much
reformers
so,
looked at it like that. All the reformers saw the
Yep.
Vatican, the Catholic Church as the Antichrist. And Dave Hunt, A Woman Rides the Beast, has the best book on this. It's all from, there's no speculation. It's all from the writings of the Catholic Church. It's not from any outside source. It's
Yep.
from their own writings, talking about the Pope being infallible, talking about, praying to Mary, deifying her, Queen of Heaven. Like, if you read the scripture and see what's said about the Queen of Heaven, that's never a good thing. Like, but again, man, within that system, and actually I think our boy Biblical Hitman alluded to it earlier, when God says, come out of her, my people, it's an interesting thing when he's talking to Mystery Babylon and Revelation, that there is something where he finally says, come out of her. I'm not saying it's just the Vatican.
well, remember she was covered in the blood of the saints. Remember that?
Right, which the Vatican is. We know that.
Well, if you know about the history about how Catholicism even came to be, like, they're one of the biggest murderers of Christians there is.
Right.
That's an interesting concept.
You know,
Like, how does that stand in contrast to being covered in the blood of the saints versus being covered in the blood of Christ?
See what I'm saying? This dude's got insight. I love this guy.
I'm just asking.
As soon as he really gets right and starts reading a Bible every day, like, it's game over for
I'm just
Satan with this dude. I love his insight.
Am I on the right track, though? Like,
yes, you always are. You pick up on these very subtle things, man, and they jump out to you, and I love that.
That's interesting.
Because the enemy uses deception. They use little tricks and, like, misdirects to take focus away from things. Like, everybody says, like I brought up with the saints and so-called Mother Mary. Everybody always focuses as, oh, it's veneration, and there's a rebuttal. Like, it's not veneration. But the real misdirect is that whole argument. Like, the biblical aspect of it, and whether it's true or not, is, can they even pick up the phone? You know what I mean?
That's an interesting question. I mean, it almost sounds silly how we're framing it, but, like, what happens when you pass on? Do you gain some level of, if you're a saint or if you're Mother Mary, some level of omnipresence that allows you to intercede on behalf of millions, probably millions of people?
Well, look at the stories of the angels that have been talked about. They don't have all powerful in this. They don't have all multiple. You know, that dude that was going through the Prince of Persia, like he was powerful. I don't remember which one that was or whatever, but
was that
he was
Michael or Gabriel?
Well, one of the chapters he's unnamed even, but it seems like it's Gabriel. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, in angels.
So in other words, he's not omnipresent. Like, he's I got all tied up with.
There's nothing omnipresent other than God.
Other than God.
Yeah.
You know what I will say is like
where
so I know that Catholics say, because it's like, oh, there's no instance where you would pray to another, person or being or whatever, instead of Christ, and that there's no instance of anybody interceding on behalf. But there is, like, when Christ is at that party and he performs his first miracle by turning the water into wine.
Oh, and she says, "Yeah, go do it."
Well, she tells him. So it's like Mary intercedes in some way, shape, or form on behalf of the party goers who are like, shit, we're out of wine.
Yeah, but he kind of rebukes her. He kind of says, "Woman, my time's not yet."
That's interesting. But then he still does it. So I know a lot of Catholics would point to that as like, well, look, that's an instance of Mary interceding on behalf of somebody else and petitioning Christ.
Yeah, while she's alive on the planet.
Yeah.
Nobody's debating that, bro. But like a human on the planet alive communicating with someone who's passed on, like, instead of just going direct to Jesus, like, this is madness. That's madness.
Oh.
Which doesn't mean I don't love people within that system. Like, somehow there's people within that system that genuinely love the Lord, dude, and they're much more committed than most church people. Like,
hold on a second. Hey, Jackie. I'm sorry to interrupt. Jackie.
It's your show.
Can you unlock that door and open it, and that way you can come and go through there, and you don't have to just come through the kitchen?
You're not a little concernicus with the 10,000 other people going to come walking by?
No, I don't give a damn.
And we know you don't.
There you go. And that way you don't have to keep marching through the my son's here, the host of
Jack, let's go.
Nephilim Jack Squad. He can't. Nobody can see you. So, so I'm sorry, but go on. What were you saying, Matt?
I don't remember. I'm just saying there's a lot of humans I love. Like I said, some of the closest people to me right now in my life are Catholic people, bro. Like, I'm just being real with everybody. People I love with all my heart that walk out a very consistent life of discipline that I'm very impressed by. But for some reason, yeah, man, the whole like saints and like I don't know, like I've been to the Vatican and it's madness when you're inside the Vatican and like there's Saint this guy, Saint that guy. There's some dead guy in a glass coffin that you can see that's been there for like.
They have like Mary's.
It's madness, bro. It's madness, and there's nothing of Jesus. Dude.
Well,
Then I
here's
finally found this one painting where I looked at the painting. And my buddy was like, "Hey Matt, you like this place? I know you're religious." I was like, "Well, first off, I'm not religious, and second off, no, I don't like this place." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Dude, this is the one thing of Jesus here, and it's John the Baptist. They're standing in ankle deep water. It's John the Baptist sprinkling water on his head." And I said, "Bro, this is the one thing about Jesus. It's not even biblically accurate because in the Bible it says that when he was baptized, ascending up out of the water, the Spirit descended like a dove." So like this thing that he's standing in ankle deep water and John's like dripping water on him, it's not even biblically accurate. And it's the one thing of Jesus in this place. Like, what is this place?
I think the word they used was like emerged. And in order to emerge, you must be immersed.
Yeah, you had to be underwater.
Yeah.
It said in Luke, it says coming up out of the water.
Oh, okay. What?
Well, here's also
that's what I'm saying. It's clearly something else.
Yeah. I want to make it clear too. I have no ill will towards Catholic, but it's like I want to see. I want to see them with the veils off. Well, here's the thing: is because they're like they always have this like air of superiority, and I understand the draw toward Catholicism because it almost feels like.
But they might say that about Protestants
in the world,
too.
That's probably true.
Well, actually, because they, like the antagonistic part, but I could see how it would attract the people that think they're serious about seeking God, because it looks like it has all the the nice facades and all these things.
It's like,
and
if I was going to worship God, it maybe it should be fancy, right? You know what I mean? So like in that way, you go like,
but that only happens with Bible ignorance, though, man. Like as soon as you read a Bible, you're like, oh no, this is the God of like the reality of life.
Wow, Def Not Extra wants to know how many dead Catholic bodies are in your closet, Andrew.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I don't want to get like in
I'll
trouble.
tell you, it's not as many as the tombs underneath most of these cathedrals.
It's not zero,
bro. In one of those documentaries we're gonna watch in Peru, I forget the dude's name, but it's Timothy Alvarino's buddy. He only speaks Spanish. I forget the dude's name, but he's working in the tunnel system, and it pops up under the Catholic Church, bro. It goes hard.
Dude.
The one that says the Vatican on the front, it's called the Unholy See. That one's gangster, bro. People are gonna like when we do
there's
that one.
so many in Europe and all around. Like, dude, they have this propensity to build these churches on top of these tombs where the walls are lined with human skulls.
That's wild. Well, I guess we're gonna end up getting.
I'm telling you, there's some sinister stuff going on. I have my own idea of what it is, but. I think I want to say that Alexandria girl covered that stuff about that, but I can't remember where I came across it.
Let's address that.
If you know anything about,
hold on, Andrew, we got a text. Can I read it? Let me read it first.
Yeah,
to you.
I'm not saying there's not 10 statues
well, hold on, I gotta read
around the entire complex.
People are listening and they don't know what you're talking about. So we got a comment here from Bad Christian. It says, I was at the Vatican this past March and there were at least 10 statues of Christ. He is lying about not seeing Jesus. He is breaking the thou shalt not lie commandment. He is going to hell. I do think this is in jest because it's in all caps and I think it's very funny. But you are.
So I'm sure there is some stuff, but a statue of Jesus is madness anyway to begin with. But it's a figure of speech to say there's nothing of Jesus here. It's all saints. It's like as you go through there, you are very hard pressed to find anything of Jesus. But like I said, we did find the one painting where he's being baptized and it's not even biblically accurate. So there's certainly some stuff there. But how do you call this Christianity if 99% of it is stuff other than Christ?
Well, what I will say, go ahead, Andrew.
I want to give Matt's perspective on this because here's my perspective of what Catholicism is, and it was born out of is that basically Satan, when he realized the plan, because he thought, like they thought, just like the Jews, like he was going to come and be this triumphant ruler and rule the world, with an iron fist, kind of. And that's why they were scared of him. Remember then the demons were like, "Oh, you're gonna, throw me, basically like use your power against me. Is it your time to rule?" So after his death, they realized, "Oh, we didn't understand what the heck was going on," and Satan was cast to the earth, and all this stuff. Well, he was trying to murder all the saints, if you remember at the beginning. But
Yeah, that's why they said
what happened was it
blood
actually
of the martyrs was the seed of the church. Yeah, and then he figured out because we went through this in the life of Balaam. Like he'll try to just destroy the church, but then when he realizes he can't do that, then he'll make him compromise and water it down. But that's not just Catholic today. I mean, that's the entire 501c3 system today.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, but if you just think about it from logistics and like if you're trying to overcome something. And you find that every time you murder somebody, it just grows like by a multiplicity of like 100, right? The next best thing is, subversion. And the best way to have that subversion is to make it sound and look a lot like, except humans love, and this is something that, Satan figured out. Like, he's been around since before humans, right? Since he's a fallen angel. But humans love their rituals. They love their rituals. Like, I'm telling you, you see it all, not even, like, you see it everywhere. Humans just love their rituals, and Catholicism capitalizes on that. And my perspective with the bones is actually they use it to kind of falsify a movement, because it's all about vibration, and when the organ hits those bones, it magnifies it.
Oh, that's
like an amplification. So it gives this aura feeling like, oh, God's presence is here. And I think it's all just deception.
The dude brought up a good point, though. The guy that was kind of, he says all caps button's broken, so we'll give him that. It's understandable.
But he also did say that you're going to hell, and he meant it.
No, that's okay. We're all on that path until we come to know the Lord, man. Unless I'm born again and know Christ. Then,
Amen, dude.
I mean, that's how that goes. But
Amen,
with
dude.
all that being said, he did bring up that, like, the trans and the gay flags and stuff, he's saying that's not in the Catholic Church. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but if that is the case, then he brings up a good point.
That's cool. I don't know if the Catholic Church doesn't bend the knee to any of that stuff, because I've seen, Christian churches where
Bend
it's
the
like,
knee to that, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's no big deal. Yeah,
big old lesbian
so
pastors
it's a fair point.
and such. Yeah.
It's a fair point.
All right. Well, listen.
The thing is, we're not fans of either one. We're not
yelling
fans
at me.
of either system, the Catholic system or the 501c3 system.
I'm a fan of Christ, bro.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that anything to take away your focus away from, because like I called last time I was talking about, the most important thing is that this is a personal relationship. So anybody, trying to throw shade on your personal relationship with Jesus doesn't know, and it doesn't matter. Like, it's just noise, because it is a personal relationship with
You're
Jesus.
right. That's why the Catholic thing gets murky, because you're going through a priest, you're going through a pope, you're going through Mary.
Yeah.
That's where it gets sketchy.
Well, remember when Jesus died,
you and Christ.
the veil, when Jesus died, like when he actually gave up his spirit at that point, the veil to the Holy of Holies was torn top to bottom.
Boom.
That was a symbol that we no longer need a priest. We have a personal, direct line.
Yeah.
And that's through the blood of Jesus. That's it. Like, that's why I say, and it's the Bible even talks about the spirit of Antichrist. So that anything that takes away from the power of Christ is the spirit of Antichrist. It stands in opposition
Great
to.
point.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, I think that thank God that he is patient, because I think at the end of the day, a lot of us are probably doing a lot of things wrong, but I think what matters is, are you pursuing the heart of God in your own heart? Is that where your intentions are? Are you pursuing the truth? Are you trying to get closer to God? Because I think if that is really it, at the end of the day, God has a lot of patience, and he'll work on you, and you'll shed some things, and you'll grow some other things in other places. And so that's not to say, if you're Catholic, you got it all wrong and you're going to hell, or if you're, Lutheran, you got it all wrong and you're going to hell. I'm like, no, I think only God knows your heart. That's what matters. And if you're really oriented and you're constantly trying to course correct and get closer to God and keep pointing in that direction and keep growing closer to him, it's going to work. But I don't know what that path is going to look like for you. I don't know what you're going to shed on the way there.
Yeah. And I'll make one quick point. Is that okay?
Go ahead, dude.
20 seconds.
Make 2 points.
All right. So here's the other. This was the first one that really turned me against. Like, I was kind of in the middle. I didn't understand whether if they were malicious or not. But this story, all right. If you remember, there's a story in the Bible where Jesus is speaking, and he's surrounded by these rabbis in a house, and some of these locals hear that Jesus is nearby, and they know he's been healing people. So they bring this dude who's lame, who can't walk, and so they bring him on like a stretcher or whatever. They carry him away, I don't know, whatever. But they can't get to him because Jesus is inside this house with these rabbis trying to grill him, and they lower him from the roof on the inside. And the story goes that Jesus sees the guy, well, obviously they lower him to the roof, and he says, basically, like, your sins are forgiven. And at this, the rabbis, like, they're struck, like, what is this? They start condemning him, be like, what is this blasphemy? A man that says he can forgive sin, right?
Right.
And Jesus says in response, he says, he knows their hearts is what it's kind of like implied. He's like, what do you think is more difficult, to forgive this man's sins or to tell him to get up and walk? And so he told him to get up and walk, and he's healed, and he gets up and he goes rejoicing or whatever. But what I think is interesting about that story is the rabbis were kind of correct. Who is this man, this human that thinks he can forgive sin, that claims to be able to forgive sin? Well, they didn't understand that Jesus was, also holy God. But if you take this to the lens of Catholicism, who is this man that thinks that he can forgive sin?
Great point.
You know what I mean?
Great point. I like how you elaborated on that and how you opened up that whole story. That was a great point, bro, because you're right. They look at this dude, they say, who is this dude thinks he can forgive sin? He's like, it only counts if I'm actually God. So let's just prove that I'm God as well.
Exactly.
What do you think's easier, that I tell him his sins are forgiven or that I tell him to rise up and walk? And that's an intriguing one, and people don't like it because sometimes why was the sin and the healing connected in that story? I know people get offended by that, but it looks like sometimes the sin actually, not every time, but sometimes sin actually creates this sickness and disease. Because we know, like in the garden before sin, there wasn't any disease. So there's clearly this connection between sin and disease, sickness. And in that case, he tells the dude, your sins are forgiven. But that's a great point, and I really do appreciate how you set that up. That, like, they brought up a good point. Like, no man can forgive sins.
Well, I just want to tell, I'll leave all in this, but I don't want to make it sound like I'm railing against the Catholics. I'm railing against sacred cows. I'm against sacred cows because we shouldn't, as believers and followers of Christ, we shouldn't have any sacred cows. We should have no rituals, and that's it. Like, I know, David, you mentioned the book of Ecclesiastes was the first book you read. That's actually my favorite book. Because there's a verse, and I want to say it's like chapter 7.
Yeah, that's what I started
reading.
Yeah,
because it makes sense to the one who doesn't understand eternity yet.
Dude, I was laughing through the whole thing because it's kind of
he's like, man, if there's nothing matters, then
yeah.
let's just eat, drink, and have a good time.
You could be poor, you could be rich. You all go to the same place. Nothing means anything. And it's like over and over and over again.
The context is a guy with no concept of eternity.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was what I was getting into.
It's weird. He's got a concept of God because he mentions God, but he's got no concept of eternity.
And he's like, the only thing that matters is like a healthy fear and reverence of God.
But that's why he keeps saying under the sun, under the sun. It's the natural realm. It's what we're dealing with in Jude. These dudes only understand the natural realm. Like Ecclesiastes fits with the book of Jude.
It was very funny.
Let me see. I'm going to figure if I can find it really quick. But yeah, actually, if you go back, you could still find nuggets of truth in there because like you said, I don't know about the perspective of who the writer is, but I'm telling you, go back, you can find things like, I want to say it was chapter 7, but there's
Solomon. I think they say it's Solomon when he fell off. Man.
That's who I thought it was.
Yeah, when he started running with the honeys that were taking him away from God, and he's building Astra poles and all these other things to worship false gods, which is crazy.
That makes sense. But he mentions something, and I bring it up because he says, God created man simple, but we've made ourselves complicated.
Yeah.
And
I like what Z-Man says. He says, excuse me, Jesus, that's great. You healed that guy, but what can you do about my roof? Just remember, he was a carpenter. Sorry to cut you off, bro. Go ahead.
No, that was basically it. But like we as humans, we make things complicated. Like we love to take things and make a ritual out of it because it makes us feel good. But the thing is, God created us simple, and we made things complicated.
Yes.
Like, I think that's an important point. I don't know, that reach out, that I always look at things like that because what I see is like people making. I talked this last time I called was like people play these word games and love to make new definitions and wrap definitions inside other definitions, and it's like this isn't progression. It's actually the opposite. It's deception.
We're going to do an episode on that with word definitions from the Bible, because if you mangle these words, then this is how you end up with the church the way that it is today. If you mangle the word love, if you mangle the word faith, if you mangle the word grace, that's what we were dealing with in Jude too, that these fakers turn the grace of God into lasciviousness. So if we start just butchering these definitions, especially faith, grace, and love, then you've butchered the entirety of Christianity, to be plain. But there's a lot of other words. I want to see what y'all
say about grace, man. I want to see what y'all say about grace. That's one of the ones I've been thinking about a lot lately. But
I mean, it's a lot. Like if you look at the effects of grace, grace teaches us. I think that's in Titus. Grace teaches us. Paul said, "By the grace of God, I am what I am, and I did more work than." He's talking about all the other apostles. He said, "By the grace of God, I did more work than they all." So that's back to the Catholic chick Emily. She was talking about how, like, if you have grace and faith, you're gonna have works. Amen, amen. So like, it's almost like the energy of God within you. We've talked about it before, that it's not forgiveness. That's forgiveness and mercy is something different than grace. Grace is like is the ability to overcome sin. So in a certain way, it's like the energy of God, the life force of God within you. It's really like that. It's not like, because under the Old Testament system there was forgiveness and mercy. Like that's what the Old Testament system was. It was sacrifice this animal and that animal and this and that and the goat and the thing, and you do all these sacrifices and stuff. That was for forgiveness and mercy. We had that in the Old Testament. Grace was this new thing in the New Testament. It says that the law came by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. So it was this ability to overcome sin, and grace would be like the life force of God within us. So I don't know. It's like I don't know that I really can make a solid definition, but I know I can say what it's not. It never means it's okay to just continue in sin and not fight against it. Not to say that you're ever going to get sinless, but you have to be fighting against it.
Yeah. Well, we're being, remade new by the renewing of our minds, constantly every day. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll pray for discernment about that, man. Hopefully you guys get some good insight.
Cool. We'll see you at Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, well, we got to find a venue first.
Very possible.
All right, Andrew. Great talking to you, brother. God bless you, and I guess until next time.
God bless you, and God bless Texas.
Yeah. Y'all have a good day. Yeah.
All right, we're going to shut this line down because I have been doing this show for 3 hours.
3 hours? We're just getting started.
3 hours.
What?
Jack needs a call, and Jack's here. He's running around here.
You have no stamina on podcasts, bro.
Here,
like 3 hours and you're done?
Hey, Jackie.
You want me to give him this? Or no, he can't use my...
No, he can come in and just say hi and wave to the camera and stuff. He's going to want to say hi. There he is. Come on, go by.
Right
Actually, here, come over here.
Either way. Watch the wires.
And I think you want to look into that camera right there. Say hi.
What's up?
Say hi to Z-Man.
Hi, Z-Man.
Look, Z-Man said put Jack on. Did you have fun at the church at the 501c3 system, setting up the decorations?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you guys do?
I carried down big bags, and you know those flags?
Big bags?
Flags? What kind of flags?
You carried down big bags?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, you're strong. What kind of flags?
You know those ones that are like hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah, the ones where it's like, like God bless Israel and like all the other nations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there, the baptism room, if you go to it, there's like a certain part of it. You go into that room.
The one where we got baptized in?
Yeah. There's a certain room. If you go in it, you'll like see a big staircase. You go up that, and then it leads you to this big part where the flags are hanging. And we were like taking the flags off and hanging them on the rails.
And what were you putting up there instead? You took the flags down. Did you put anything else up there?
Christmas decorations. I'm sure it's coming.
Is that what it is?
Is it really?
Nice.
I knew it.
Dude,
I knew it.
There were so many Christmas trees. How many Christmas trees were there?
Christmas trees in the church?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
In the church?
Shout out Nimrod.
Probably like 10.
10 Christmas trees?
Maybe
I'm not
more.
doing this.
Dang, dude. That's nuts. Oh, I'm glad you had fun. Look, say goodbye to everybody. I'm ending this show.
No, I
No,
wanna
bro,
stay
we
with
just got
Z-Man.
started.
No, guys, we gotta end the show. I've been here for 3 hours.
Bro,
Z-Man.
whatever.
Come on, man. Say peace out, y'all.
Nah, give me some questions.
No, we don't have any questions. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? Go on. We're gonna end this show. We're bringing it in for a landing. Okay.
You're correct, Walrus. That is gay.
Don't say that. Get out of here. Oh my God. See, guys,
He's a
you're a
legend.
bad influence on him. Unbelievable.
Bye, everybody.
Unbelievable. Why is he taller than me? He's about 3 feet taller than me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Matt, thank you for quarterbacking with me. I don't really know what that terminology means, but I don't watch football.
No, thanks for letting me sneak
That
in,
was
dude.
great.
Wait, I think the people are excited for our show. We're going to have like a good show, man.
When do you want to do this show?
Whenever you're ready. I'm ready
ready all the
to do
time.
it.
I'm a podcaster. You're a brown water maker. When are you ready?
You just say.
Right now.
Wait, are we
No.
gonna put the DVD on and watch it live on the show? Or are
Well,
we
I
gonna
think
watch
there's like
it?
some copyright stuff, so we have to like break away from it a lot. Like you have
Once
to.
you know the format of what we're doing, like I could go after work today.
Is that true? Well, I have to do a Thanksgiving breakdown of Thanksgiving meals.
Okay, well, then we
Which
can
is
do it
very
another day.
important.
We can do it tomorrow after. We can do it tomorrow.
All right, whatever, man.
Wednesday, I'm already kind of.
Wednesday, I have tomorrow. I have 2 shows. Wednesday, I don't think
Whatever.
you're going to
guys
be
are-
doing
you
shows.
guys are rich and famous, bro.
No,
You
rich
make
and famous.
time for me. It's whatever.
You're going to be doing shows with Top only on Wednesday because I got to go to Boca Raton with my crapmobile and hope that it makes it 4 hours.
No.
Yeah, dude. Well, I got to go see my family.
No, Wednesday you're leaving? That's like the one day.
I have to. It's a couple days. It's the
Whatever.
day before Thanksgiving, and I got to go see my really old family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it.
Whatever. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everybody who donated, who called in. And we'll see you, I guess, in a little bit. We're going to do a breakdown of the ranking of Thanksgiving foods, which is very important.
Guys, thank you for being real ones. I'm grateful for all the real ones in the chat.
Stop glazing them.
I'm serious.
Do you know what that means?
No, I like
You're just a
real people.
glazer.
No, I like real people and appreciate real people, and I'm grateful to be a part of the community.
Your new name is Glazer Beam. Guys, call him Glazer Beam from now on. Peace out.